on stuff. Come on. Alright, we should be live. Shows RPGrinders. I'm on with Eric RPG. We're just doing a little pre-show banter before we get the show going here. Should have a great show today. Lots of stuff to cover today. It's going to be a fun one. I can tell already. A few news stories. What else we got here? I'm still sick, so you guys going to have to bear with me. Yeah, quite a bit of news stories that we got here.
So things I learned about my nephews and nieces, because I'm never there when that happens, but it's like when they start learning words and they can't say them correctly. It's like they are fans of they really like the Encanto movie, but they say Tonto because they can't say Encanto.
How cute.
They're only a year old.
Yeah.
They'll be 2 in a couple months, in a month from now.
Yeah. Reviews are gonna be fun. Stinkos are always fun. I still don't have a Sweeto. I mean, I really didn't have much to be happy about this week. But I'll try to think of something positive. We can actually, Eric, we can take your Sweeto and we can continue on in a free-for-all unless Break has a bracket for us, which I don't think he does. So that we can continue that discussion on into free-for-all, which is I was kind of irritated by that, Eric, but we'll talk about more about it when we get towards the show. Let's see. Do we have anybody in chat already? Let's see. Are we live?
I'll drip all day today, and it's made me cough.
Yeah.
Every so often.
Yeah, I've been sick all week, dude. Like, I cannot get rid of this cold. Although I think I might be turning the corner. I don't know why I feel like that. I mean, I still feel like ass, but maybe slightly better.
No, you'll wake up tomorrow and it'll be like it never happened.
Yeah, I hope. I really hope. What was I going to tell you? You get a chance to watch Beavis and Butthead yet, Eric?
No.
Oh, my God, dude. I got a clip.
I had the first episode started, but it's annoying because Paramount Plus apparently doesn't have a continue now feature within the home menu. It's like I have to seriously go back into that and click resume. So you're gonna make me search for it again, stupid motherfuckers. How hard is it to put a resume?
Yeah. I'm going to do something today that I very rarely do. I'm going to be talking shit about another YouTuber.
Why give them the time?
No, not really a talking shit, but more of a laughing type deal, Eric. More of an entertaining type thing, because I thought it was pretty funny. But I'll discuss that later. I wish Wyland would get in chat, man. That would make it even better. So yeah, we should have a ton of fun today. Let's see. I think we're good there. I got everything set. The sound is on. Everything looks peachy keen from my perspective. Oh, I know what my Sweeto is. Put that down. Okay, there we go. We should have a good time. We're waiting for Breakman to join, as always. It's always very how should I say this, acrimonious when he first gets on, but we should be in good shape. I saw our good buddy I saw our good buddy on Twitter earlier, so should be good to go there. I don't think, he always has problems with let's see. Ooh, let me tweet this out.
Should we be preparing to move our our social presence other than Twitter because Twitter might tank itself?
Well, that's a possibility, but I'm not going to jump ship until that happens, Eric. I mean, I
Well, we
very
need a backup plan for when it does.
well. I mean, look, I've got. I mean, we can just do it on YouTube but we need to get, what is it?
Discord server, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a Discord. I mean, that's that's a possibility, but I mean, it's stuff to discuss with Break and see what he thinks. Because
I mean, there's Mastodon, but Mastodon apparently sucks shit. So why use Mastodon?
maybe Mastodon will get better now that that they're, that they have a chance. I mean, Mastodon might be the key. I mean, that might be a good little. I mean, we don't have much of a presence on Twitter, anyways. Let's be honest, Eric. But I mean, but every little bit's help.
Or Google Plus. Let's go back to Google Plus.
Oh God, I know what I am gonna do. I'm gonna link us to my other channel here real soon once I figure it out. So
does Google Plus still exist?
I think it does, but fuck, I mean, for how long? I mean, that's the whole thing. But we're waiting for Breakman to get on in here, and we should have a hell of a show for you guys today. I mean, there's going to be everything on it. Looks like veiled racism, which, when we get into that discussion, Eric, I mean, maybe that should go into free for all, and we could talk about the long history of racism in Japan. Because I think that would be an interesting topic to delve into. I mean, I'm not a self-proclaimed Japanese historian or anything, but I do know that there's been a lot of racism in Japan, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, and I think we can change that discussion into something broader. What's up, Freak 5? Nice to have you in there as always. If you want to join Freak 5, I mean, you're always welcome to come on up, man. I mean, we could always use a fourth member. I mean, I kind of consider you the fourth member of Grinders anyways, dude. I mean, you're always here, so let us know if you can also hear us, Freak 5. That would be helpful as well. I know we're online. But hey, Freak, I'll think, what is it? Don't think about it too long, Freak 5, or I'll kick you out on your fucking ass. No, I'm just kidding. That was a line from...
Hey, Freak 5, what happened to your Twitter account?
What? Oh, he deleted it. He said he was going to delete it.
Oh.
A lot of people are doing that, That was a line from Christine, by the way, Freak 5, if you never heard. Hey, but this is just for you, Freak 5.
This is good for us, though, because now you can no longer taunt us with food.
I know. That is true.
Unless he wants to do it through the chat.
I know. Here, check this out, Freak 5. I think you should bring it back, Freak 5. I don't think you should jump ship quite yet. But listen to this, Freak 5. This is for you.
Poor Breakman's not going to get anything from Freak 5 because that's the only person he got stuff from.
I know, right? Well, I mean, Freak 5 could bring it to the chat. I mean, that's not a problem. All right. Send them to you in Facebook Messenger. Okay, that's cool.
I won't look.
I know.
I barely use Messenger.
I barely use it too, but I will watch it. I'll check it out, Freak 5. Look, check this out, Freak 5. I cut this out specifically for you. I'm gonna play it right now. It's about 2 minutes long.
Wait, what's this show called? This is Ghosted. So is there a ghost on that chair? No. That dude there, he ghosted her, and so now they're gonna find out why, and then work it out or something, or settle it in the cage or something.
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you spend the holidays with me? I was your girlfriend.
Boy, she must have done something really bad for him to ghost her. Yeah, she probably killed his dog and slapped his mom and stuff, Even then, though, I still don't think I'd ghost her, butthead. Yeah, this better be good. We gotta pay attention.
The real reason I ghosted you, Giovanna, is because you're a sex addict.
What?
What? Wait a second. Whoa. Hey, you know, it almost sounded like he said she wants to have sex too much, and that's why he broke up with her. That can't be right.
Girl, you're like a rabbit. Like, you just...
Wait, he is! He is complaining! What? He's complaining about that? This is the dumbest dude I've ever seen in my life. Oh, he's not just dumb, butthead. He's a lousy son of a bitch. Yeah. He sure is. How dare he? I mean, some of us, you know, like me, don't have any sex. Ever. And he's sitting there with his man bun and complaining about having too much sex? Jesus Christ. I don't know what number multiple is, but it's better than 0. Exactly. You know, there's starving kids in poor countries, and they probably get to score, but I don't. And look at this guy. Who does he think he is? For once, I'm not going to say settle down, Beavis. You're absolutely right. I hate him. I hate him, butthead. Shut up! That's right, Beavis. Shut up! Shut up, you
Kick his ass.
butt monkey! Lousy son of a bitch. Teach him a lesson. There you go. You don't want to score? Well, how about not scoring with some of this?
Yes.
Yeah. That's how you take care of that. I'll teach him a lesson.
That was cool.
Sorry. Yeah, I just really hated him, butthead, you know.
We don't have a TV anymore.
Why not? Oh, yeah.
Dude, I think that is one of the greatest segments in any like comedy bit ever. I love it. And we don't have a TV anymore. He's like, oh, why not? Oh, yeah. He like realizes that he fucked up the TV, man. I can't wait till you watch it.
I'm only laughing because it is Beavis and Bud. Because like, if you actually watch the episode,
Yeah.
I don't watch the series, but like, clearly she probably has him have sex with her all the time to the point of exhaustion, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think that's what that was, Eric. I mean, I understand that, but I really don't. I think he was just being a kind of a wuss. But
I mean, yeah, maybe he's just one of those people who just
yeah.
But he should have been upfront about just
absolutely
how big his libido was, and they were getting into a relationship or hooking up or whatever.
Right. I don't know. I just thought it was funny, man. It's one of
need to have sex that much, then let's have an open relationship. You could fuck whoever.
Right. Freak 5 said, sitting there with his man bun. Dude, there's so much good out of that segment, Freak 5. I laughed at every time I hear it. Like, it doesn't get any, like, it doesn't lose its luster. You know what I mean? Like, I could listen to that, like, every day, like, at least 10 times, and I'd be laughing just the same, you know. Like, it's so funny. The show's RPGrinders. We're waiting for Breakman to get on the show.
I don't think the 2009 Beavis and Bud episodes are on Paramount Plus, which is weird.
They might not be on there. I did notice that, Eric. Let me see if Break is ready.
I'll have to look for those.
Yeah. But anyways,
or actually, it's not 2009. It's like 2007 or so. So yeah, Freak 5 says there's some of them, but like, yeah, I'd rather find them all. I don't know why they're not all on there.
Yeah, maybe licensing issues and shit like that. We're just waiting for our good buddy Break to give us the word. I'll give him a call and we'll get this party started. We should have a fun show today. Lots to talk about. Jesus Christ. Hey, Freak 5, that's the part of that segment that made me laugh the most is when like Butthead is like, I mean they both said it, Beavis and Butthead said it, but Butthead when he's like, Jesus Christ. Dude, every time that happens I just laugh. I'm like that's the funniest shit ever. This is really fun. I'm watching this Photoshop guy, and he takes requests, right? Like it'll say something like, "Can you like take my hand out of this picture?" And he'll do just the funniest things with it. It's funny as fuck. Let's see. The best part is when Beavis flips the table. That's pretty funny too. But dude, I mean, it's just genius. That whole segment is just it's the best. I'm glad they left that one for last, Freak 5, because it's really something else. All right, here we go. Come on, what the hell? All right, let's add break here. Let's see. Let's add Breakman. Let's see how long it takes for Breakman to get on the stream. Calling you now, Breakman. You son of a bitch. Unavailable. That's what it says. Unavailable, Breakman. But I don't. I mean, that whole thing is just, it's pure comedy, man. Let me get back over here. Unavailable, dude. Available. I mean, I could try again. Let me try again.
I'm looking online, and the best I could come up with is to look for season 8. That might be it.
Maybe. Let's call this dude again. Let us call this guy again. Let's call Breakman again. Still no news, and if my job is going to do anything for the employees who aren't. Yeah, you really think that they're going to do that, Freak 5? Really? I mean, if so, it'll be something insulting. Like, here's a $10 gift card to Walmart. Ooh, yay, thanks. You know, I was just talking to somebody about that the other day, Freak 5, how, like, we used to have, like, way back in the day, we used to have, like, holidays off, right? Like, even stupid-ass Columbus Day was, like, a paid holiday off. But now it's, like, you know.
I wonder how much that actually hurts Judge's throat.
What's that?
I wonder how much it hurts Judge's throat to raise his voice like that when he's doing Beavis or Butthead.
Probably not, man. I mean, you know. Probably not at all. Unavailable. Dear Lord.
The first episode for
break.
the new season,
Are you there?
The series is
Hold on,
the escape
Eric.
room episode, isn't it?
Hold on, Eric. Break. Are you there?
Am I here?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are here.
Okay.
Holy shit! I tried like twice
That was dumb. I don't know.
and now I'm getting echo.
It went to my phone first, and then the second time, like, it just wasn't going through, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll try and call them.
Yeah, well, that worked. So there you go. All right. You ready to go?
I swear I was here at like 7 o'clock today. I swear.
No, you were right on the money, man. And I've been trying to get a hold of you, but I mean, it just your laptop, man. All right, you ready to go, Eric? You ready, Break?
I guess.
My computer hates me.
All right, here we go. I really feel like starting out with the Beavis and Butthead clip, but I'll keep that. I'll keep that in my back pocket. All right, here we go. And welcome, everybody, to episode 713 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you?
Okay.
What about you, Break? How you doing all right? Oh, shit.
I was waiting for Eric to speak so I could do that.
Right. Harmy is back, apparently.
Well, you complained I didn't use him last week.
I did not complain. I was shocked that he wasn't used last week. That was my only point, Oh, Jesus. Could tell this is going to be an episode for Harmy, apparently. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's even incorporating a little bit of blues tones in there. I can't believe it, man. One of these days you're going to bust out like a full tune and shock us all, Break. It's going to be amazing. But all right, gentlemen, we have lots of stuff to discuss today, so why do we not get right into the news?
Oh yeah. I need this.
RPG News. All right, Eric, you are up, sir.
All right. The thing I wanted to add is for homie discounts for the PS Plus stuff for this month. But,
okay,
I'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But this is from RPG site. The first news article is for Atomic Heart, which is a first-person action RPG, and it's got a release date for February 21st. For PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One and PC. Focus Entertainment and Moonfish are the people working on this game. And it's going to have a Gold Edition, which is $90, and a Premium Edition, which is $100.
Ooh.
So 2 tiers of limited editions. And a pre-order weapon skin bonus for, I guess that's for all versions though. But Gold Edition includes access to 4 upcoming DLCs, while the Premium Edition adds a digital art book and extra cosmetics.
I mean, we're headed towards $100 game price point, aren't we, guys? I mean, I think by next generation we'll be up to $100 a game. I don't think there's any way around it. I mean, that's just.
I'll tap out.
Yeah, I don't know about tapping out, Eric, but what I will do is just.
I mean, I'll use subscription models.
Gouge as much as they possibly can, and nowadays they're just going full bore into the gouging. They're like,
Oh yeah.
They're gonna blame politicians for it.
I'll tap out buying games. I'll rent them or something.
Yeah, no, I won't tap out buying games. I'll do what I do now. I'll wait. I was just talking to Bernie about God of War. I really want that game. By all accounts, it's one of the greatest games ever made.
$70 though.
Well, it might be worth $70, but that's $70 I don't have. I'll wait for a sale. I mean, I do that now. I wait. I
mean, it's either that or Sonic next week, and I'm not sure I'll buy either because I already put money down for Tactics Over Reborn, and then I have to consider what's coming out the next month, like Saga, Romantic Saga Minstrel Song remastered, and then there's Pokemon also.
Yeah, I mean, there's just way too much to be paying top price for it all, you know? And I think I'm with Break. I mean, we either wait for sales or like he's got the Game Pass and he'll do that. Like I have I can't afford both the Game Pass and PlayStation. What's the PlayStation one called? Gold? I don't know.
PlayStation Plus, which
Plus.
is losing its value.
Yeah, I mean, other than those free games, like, I mean, that's the draw for me, is the free games, and more, they're putting a lot of free games that I already own, so it might not even, I mean, I've already paid 2 years in advance, so, I mean, I'll have that for a while, and every once in a while I'll get a game, you know, but it is losing value, Eric, no doubt, so, and I'm not
like, you could be putting God of War Ragnarok on there as a day one release to match stuff like what Microsoft's doing on Game Pass, but you're being stubborn and saying, no, buy our game, fucker.
Right. I mean, that they should easily do that. I mean, Game Pass is looking really attractive to me. I'm not even going to lie. Like, when my Plus...
Oh, yeah, the games that are coming to PlayStation Premium this month, all the Ratchet and Clank games, Clank games for PS3 as PS Now streaming titles.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to play with bad latency.
Yeah.
And not just Game Pass, but they also give you a couple free games a month, too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, that's, you know.
That's being mostly kneecapped, though, because now it's just indies, basically.
Well, look, Xbox is going to be more attractive for, I think, one reason and one reason only. Don't Microsoft own, like, most of the fucking big companies now? Like, what is that one company that did Skyrim? Bethesda. So Bethesda alone is a big enough fucking. I mean, with Fallout and Skyrim and you know all the, you know, the Elder Scrolls shit and all that.
And Sony's being a big baby because they don't want Call of Duty to leave the PlayStation.
Oh, get out of here. I mean, seriously, I mean, if you don't want it to leave then Sony bone up and buy. I mean, I always thought that. Like, if they wanted to compete, buy fucking, what you call it. I mean, they're not doing anything. Xbox seems to be controlling the narrative long term, not short term, but they're kind of kicking ass short term with that fucking Game Pass, because everything first party is going to be on the Game Pass. I mean, Sony, hello. Throw us a bone here. It would be really nice to get God of War day one. That might have been the thing that made me pay the extra tier money for that. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. I don't know what Sony's doing. I mean, you know, I don't know, but whatever. I'm getting kind of an echo.
Did you remove the homie discount section?
I did not. It should still be in there.
It's not here.
What? Did you accidentally delete it? I didn't delete it. Yeah, you might have actually. Go ahead and add it back if you need, Eric. But yeah, this is stupid. I think Xbox is doing things right now, which I never thought in a million years I'd say. But the Game Pass is becoming very attractive. By the way, this Atomic Heart looks pretty good. It looks like a cross between like BioShock and like an alternative history, like Wolfenstein type deal, but with science fiction elements. So looks fairly cool, for a first person game. Hey, Break, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm irritated now. Outside of the news, like, it's just that I'm getting political ads in the news now.
Oh yeah, I get
really pissing me off.
I get them too. I did a tweet the other day that nobody seemed to pick up. Break. It was like, I can't wait for election to be over so that way I can start skipping ads again on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, it's irritating. All right, Break.
Yeah, and I'm sick of these politicians begging for more money for more ads. Like, nobody is going to the polls based on fucking ads.
Right. No, that's a good point. That's a great point, Break. Actually,
drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming to us live from RPG site, Front Mission First remake deploys on November 30th for the Nintendo Switch. Great, another game I want to play that I don't have really time for. Anyway. This title was a remake of the first Mission game. It started the Mecha Strategy RPG series. It was priced at $34.99. American dollars or 34.99 euros. Though there will be a pre-order discount of 10%. Ooh, baby,
Right.
$3.
Right.
Ooh.
Hey, Freak5 says, hey, Frank, what's the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer? Oh, boy. Can't wait for this riveting punchline. All right, anything else, Break?
Front Mission First Remake comes back with updated graphics and modern approach. Really? Choose your side and enter the battlefield equipped with the armed Wanzer. The future of Huffman Island is in your hands. The game features new game mode and tweaks the gameplay mechanics. Legendary soundtrack fully reorchestrated. Ooh, I like that. Original soundtrack also available, though. So that's cool.
That is cool. And Freak5 says the taste. Oh, God.
Kind of bothers me it's digital only, at least at the moment.
Yeah, they're seemingly doing that more and more. A lot of companies are, to see if it starts selling well, then they'll maybe get a physical copy out there. But I understand. It's like
I'll buy a game to find out that they have a deal with like limited run or something, and then I have to buy it again.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks good. I mean, it looks updated. So, if you're a fan of Front Mission, which there's a lot of people that...
The interesting thing, though, is like Front Mission 2 and 3, which are coming like next year, are also being developed by completely different companies from each other.
Well, probably by design, right? I mean...
maybe I don't know. Maybe they don't want this company that is not known for doing a lot of great stellar work to be overwhelmed. So that's probably why they're splitting the duties up.
Freak5 says, have you had the Arby's rib sandwich? It's really good, better than a McRib. By the way, Freak5, they're getting rid of that McRib sandwich altogether, which
it sucks. So good riddance.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't know why. I've always liked it, but I'm not gonna miss it.
Healthy about it or something?
What's that?
Why are they getting rid of it? I thought it was popular.
No, they only, dude, there's a reason why they only bring it around like once every other year or something like that. It's not one of their big...
Like they want to limit the amount of deaths every year?
Well, that may be. But, the thing about it, Breakman, is that if they would have lowered the price on it, because it's like, I mean, the McRib is like a basic sandwich that you can buy at... It's like a chopped pork sandwich, right? Like a form.
People described it as being like rubbery. So
yeah.
Well, that.
I mean, it's like it's chopped and formed.
The only real taste is the barbecue.
It's shaped.
We're talking about McDonald's food.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's chopped and formed. That's what it is. It's like processed.
But it's also cold.
Eric,
usually.
Can I speak, dude? Let me finish. It's chopped and formed pork. So, I mean, to me, I just like that taste. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but I don't know. I kind of like it. But to answer your question, Freak5, I did try Arby's rib sandwich. It's really good.
I like the rib that they had, the pork rib that they had at Stokely for like a brief period.
Yeah. All right, anything else on this Front Mission story, Break?
Nope, no. So, like, are they getting rid of the McRib because they found out it's made of, like, soy green?
It's Soylent Green and rubber. Probably, man. They probably found some horse meat in that shit, and then that rumor almost ruined Jack in the Box. The horse meat rumor that Jack in the Box had to deal with that almost ruined it. I remember.
I think the real reason is McDonald's knows that it probably costs a lot to get the ribs.
Yeah.
So they probably just don't want to ever do it again.
Well, maybe. I mean, it might be a cost-cutting measure. I mean, most likely.
And they can,
if you notice, like
final tour, so they can drum up sales.
Look,
so they can.
If you notice, guys, like they've cut down the menus clear across the board in most fast food restaurants. Like Taco Bell, they got rid of a lot of products that I thought were pretty popular, like the Maxi Melt. You can't find that anymore. That was one of my favorite things, and the reason is, they charged too much for it. It was basically a taco with like a 3-cheese blend and some pico de gallo, and they wanted to charge like twice as much for that as opposed to like a regular taco. It's like, I mean, are your guys' CEOs not making enough money? Is that what's going on here? So they just get rid of it instead of like maybe dropping the price. I mean, that would have helped it. And then like if you look at McDonald's, they're getting rid of the McRib. I mean, there's lots of places are doing that. They got at Taco Bell, they got rid of the Mexican pizza, which I was like, Jesus Christ, they're getting rid of a lot of good shit at Taco Bell, man. Like,
I think McDonald's is bringing back breakfast a little bit, though.
yeah.
Like all-day breakfast for certain items.
It needs to be better on all-day breakfast. Like,
Ooh,
not prep.
Freak 5 just sent me some creamy goodness on my phone. I like it. I don't know what type is that.
Should we talk about porn later?
It's not porn. How dare you?
Oh,
I mean, it is porn, but it's different type of porn. Porn for my eyes, for sure. Anything else on that break?
No.
You're like, no. All right. Coming to us from RPGsite.net, Kowloon High School Chronicle launches for Steam on November 10th. It originally was for the PS2 in 2004, so we're getting an old-ass game. RPG adventure.
I have a Switch version, but like I haven't really gotten a chance to play it yet.
Adventure RPG / dungeon crawler. It's never saw an English release until the Switch version in 2021, as Eric just said. New ports, art, and graphics have been redone from its original release, so it's basically a remaster. So that's cool, and it's only priced at $20. So if you like dungeon crawlers in the vein of wizardry and stuff like that, then this might be right up your alley. So there you go. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is I gotta close this thing because it was in my way. Next story. Okay, so Lost the Crown of the Magister DLC. I had like 2 other things I needed to close, and it took a while to close them. But Inner Strength DLC adds Warlock, Bard, and Monk classes on November 14th. And it's the 3rd paid DLC for this game. Following Primal Calling in Lost Valley. And there's also going to be a free update, which will be made available to the game, adding new customization options and 3 new character backgrounds.
Did we ever talk about this game before, Eric? Because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't remember. All right. Well.
We didn't talk about the previous DLCs though.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's cool. Maybe they'll come out with like. I mean, is there good buzz about this game, Eric? Do you have a copy of this or no?
No.
Damn it. All right. Well, shit. I mean, I don't even know what to think about it. I don't even have any video on it or anything. So. I just.
We're supposed to be an RPG podcast, but neither you guys play RPGs.
I play RPGs, Eric. Matter of fact, after I get done with Titanfall, I'm going to be delving into Persona 5 again. So, there you go. I can still get food pictures to you. I bet if I text Frank a food picture, he will share it to Twitter. I might. I could do that. I could be your proxy, Freak 5. No,
I don't know. I feel like we need another co-host that gets into this computer RPG scene.
Well, I definitely don't do PC gaming, so yeah, that might be. I mean, Freak 5. I mean,
there's also an Xbox version of this, but like computer / Western RPG scene.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we do like JRPGs slightly better, don't we, Eric? I mean, that is true. Although I do like yeah, maybe I'll play instead of Persona. Maybe I've been meaning to go back to like games like Pillars of Eternity and shit like that, which I still have on my shelf here. Maybe I'll do that. Eric just wants to replace me and Frank. Well, that might be true. I don't know. I doubt that. Eric's cool. All right, let's move on. Who's okay? Eric, did you do this one or did I? I don't even remember. Shit.
I did this.
I got a Vast Future news story here.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Okay, coming to us live from RPG Site. For a Vast Future is a retro-styled RPG inspired by Game Boy classics. God damn, it does look like a Game Boy game. Retro games. That's kind of a cool way of spelling retro there.
Mm-hmm.
This will be priced at $9.99 on Steam on November. It's already past November 1st.
Well, it's out now.
It's out now, $9.99. Gameplay: fast action time combat.
I don't think the Switch version's out yet, though.
It doesn't say. It just says the Steam version.
Well, Yeah, for consoles listed, it says PC, Nintendo Switch. In the little info bar there. So yeah, it must not be out on Switch yet.
Nope. Yeah, I don't see anything. Anyway, what was I?
How dare you, Freak 5.
You can craft a crafting system. There's ammo system. You can hack into computers and ride motorcycles. Choose between numerous classically inspired color palettes, because that's important. 6 to 8 hours of condensed RPG goodness. It looks like the Super Game Boy.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like the attachment for the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, with the colors and shit.
Yeah, that's what this game looks like.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. It you know, I mean, if you're into like playing retro games like that, like I like them every once in a while. There's some good stuff there, but I mean we're seriously going back to Game Boy games now, really? I mean, can we just at least do Super Nintendo games from here on out? Like seriously, I don't know, man.
At least it looks like a late game in the cycle, as opposed to one of the newer. How do I want to say that? It's one of like the release titles that looked really terrible. It looks like a late cycle game.
Yeah, well, it better.
At least it looks like they put work into it.
Right. I mean, they better look like that.
Well,
I mean,
maybe
shit.
it just speaks to the developer's capabilities so far. Because, like, if you've got a game that looks retro, it probably has a smaller storage profile, and which means less work for you when you're actually making the game. Because you don't have to worry about memory as much.
You don't have to worry about much of anything. Just come up with a story and battle system and throw it out there. You know, I mean, that's pretty much. I think
this kind of misses the point, though. Like you're trying to say, or what you were saying about this looking bad and stuff. Essentially, like why are we going with a Game Boy? I think they missed
because we missed the point that Frank is just a graphics whore.
No, Eric, I take exception to that. Let me explain this, all right?
Accept the poor graphics of the Game Boy because it was portable, you know.
Right.
Like, it was the only option we had back then.
Right.
But you're gonna charge $10 for something that looks like a Game Boy game to sit down and play on your computer now?
You're right. See, that's my point. Like we're now in the year 2022.
They're thinking Steam Deck, maybe.
I mean, all the time, Eric, I hear you ripping on nostalgia, right? Like that. I mean, I've heard that from you before. Like, get out of the nostalgia. I mean, can we do that? I mean, at least with the Game Boy. I mean, come on, man. Like we deserve better than that. You know, I mean, we're now in the year 2022. I get it if you want to do a completely retro game. Like, for instance, somebody that did it really good was Yacht Club games or Yacht games with a Shovel Knight, right?
You can't even pronounce it right.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, Eric. I mean, the point is still there. Like that's okay. You want to come up with a completely new idea and put it in that style, and it comes out great. But now we're going back even further. I mean, I'm looking at this game like the ideas.
This is the game they want to make.
Well, I agree, but I think we need to get with the times.
Charge $10 for it, though.
Yeah, I think we need to get with the times now. I think it's 2022.
I think you guys are total bastards. That's what. You're not even giving out a fair shake.
I've never denied that.
I never denied that either, Eric. So good point. But look. Game Boy, really? We have all this technology now, right? We've been talking about how we wanted 60...
Yeah, you're going in circles. Can we move on?
No, not till I finish my point, Eric.
You already said your point.
No,
you think the game looks old.
No.
Sucks. So
Eric,
let's move on.
No. I'm not saying it sucks. It's probably a great game, right? I mean, obviously they put their heart and soul into it. And
then why don't we
whatever.
call up the developers and you can ask them why they?
I will ask them. You don't think I would? You're calling Eric. You're calling me out. You don't think I'll ask a question? This is coming from a guy who will go straight up into a cop's face and tell him he's a piece of shit. You think I'm afraid to ask a developer and publisher why they chose the fucking Game Boy Advance? Get real, dude. Come on, man. Let's
I
move
never
on.
said you wouldn't. I'm
All
just
right.
saying.
Well, don't call me out on it if you think I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I will ask if we ever get an interview. All right, break. Next story, please.
We up to next what? I thought I did the last story. I got the.
You're the one that wants to really, really want to know.
Well, I
So
do.
maybe you should
What's
set
the
up
fucking
interview.
point?
I don't want to do my work for you.
No, God, Eric, really? I'm not afraid to ask the questions, Eric. You should know better by now. All right, break.
I don't know if this is the next story, but it's the one I have loaded. Coming to us live from Siliconera, the Oregon Trail to appear on Switch and PC in November.
Okay, it's not the story, but that's okay. Finish the story, man. I'll go back.
The Oregon Trail will soon appear on the Switch and the PC. While there's no concrete release date, we can expect it by the end of 2022, November. So this month. Oregon Trail is actually a series that first came out in 1971. If you were around in the 80s, you probably played this on the Atari, the Apple PC. If you had a teacher who brought it in, or you go to a school like that, because none of us actually had money.
Hey, Eric, can we bring back the Amiga? Let's do Amiga games next. I want to play Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and Oregon Trail, like the retro.
Speaking of Oregon Trail, that's something that we're talking about later.
Okay. All right, Eric, break. Continue.
Where was I? The game came out in 1971. It is mostly text-based educational adventure game in which a player assumes the role of a wagon leader settlers. We know that. Why am I talking about the 1971 game? What about this game?
Right. Because it's the same thing.
Also saying is that in the end of the day, I'd much rather play a game that emulates the feeling of a Game Boy game over a game that's trying to emulate the look and the feel, including frame rate and the poor frame rate performance of the PC 98.
Let's bring back Pong. I want to play Pong again. Let's do that. Let's
play Pong like they played in that TV show, the Weird Science TV show. Like they played real Pong.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, I want Pong. Or let's go back. Let's play Tempest with vector graphics. That's what I want. I want a remake of that. All right, what else we got? Break. Anything else?
You don't want remakes. You want the old style.
Yeah, the old style.
All in the old graphics.
Yeah.
Like, you want ColecoVision graphics.
Right.
Atari 2600 all the way.
All the way, man. Combat. Let's do it. Let's play Combat.
I want a Halo and 4-bit graphics.
You know what? They have that. They have an Atari version of Halo.
Oh.
Yeah, they actually do. Hey, let's play Adventure again. Let's go back. Let's just bring back the Atari 2600 period, and let's just play those games, man. Let's do it.
Outlaw Dragons all the way.
Yeah. Outlaw. Freak 5 says Air Sea Battle. Why not?
Yeah, I played that so much.
I don't remember that one.
Mega Mania. Remember Mega Mania? Let's play Mega Mania again.
Maze Craze. I played that so much too.
Yeah. Haunted House. Let's do it.
Oh yeah. Pitfall. That's good.
Pitfall.
Pitfall is great because most games, like, you go right or you're stuck on one screen or something like that.
Right.
Pitfall, you can go left.
Right.
Oh man, that was amazing.
Oh, Maze Balls, man. Maze Balls.
Oh, Burger Time. I love Burger Time.
Burger Time. Why not? Let's
Donkey Kong. Oh, I played so much Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's play Pac-Man on the 2600 again. Let's do that. E.T. Oh my God! You know what's funny about that is my mom and I used to play the shit out of some Pac-Man 2600. Man, it was funny. Galaga.
Because it had like had teddy bear mode on it, so you could never lose. Yeah. If you just want to be like a god, like put on teddy bear mode. I can't do shit.
Defender. Yeah, Defender. Let's play Defender again. That debacle of a fucking Yard's Revenge.
Making a drinking game out of playing Defender or something.
Yeah.
Or Joust.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Joust. All right, let's go back to where we should have been. Type Moon Witch on the Holy Knight Switch PS4 demo debuts. This comes to us from Siliconera. So there you go. Following a brief early Amazon product page debut on November 1st. Type Moon game is getting ready for a worldwide debut. Didn't I just fucking say that?
It's so weird though, because like this game is a game that came out in 2012 for the PC, and they're only just now localizing it, but we still don't have the original Fate game localized in any capacity. And even though there was a remake of it recently, we still have yet confirmation on Tsukihime getting localized.
Yeah, and look at this. There's 3 versions of the game. A standard version for $39.99, PS4 Digital Deluxe Edition for $49.99 that includes the Digital Magician's bass tune, whatever that is. And on January 27th, $59.99 limited edition will appear. This gives people a physical copy of Magician's basic tune and the game in a Koyama Hirokazu design box. So there you go. That's what you get for the full price.
I am not paying $60 for a physical release of this game. I would rather pay whatever PlayAsia wants me to pay for a Southeast Asia release instead.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Especially since it will come out sooner.
Freak Vibe says, "God damn!" Now
Aniplex doesn't know. Aniplex is release shy apparently.
Freak says, "God damn! Now I can hear the sound of Atari Pac-Man in my head." Yeah, exactly. It's a.
I can't do like that tinny sound that it has.
I know.
No, from what I heard, this game takes place in the same universe as the Fate games, and
I'm really hoping you're gonna say it's Pac-Man.
I know.
No, and the main character kind of looks like Rin.
I want to pay $60 for a goddamn Atari version of Pac-Man. Damn it. Yeah. All right, Eric. Go to the Little Witch story.
Was it the Atari version of Miss Pac-Man where the screen scrolled?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Like the screen had to scroll, and it was like the worst thing ever. Like, no, this game's not playable. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Little Witch no better to come out in spring 2023. Idea Factory International announced a spring 2023 release of Little Witch no better. It'll be available both physically and digitally on the. Excuse me, I've got a yawn. No, I'm
tired. How you really feel about this game.
I'm tired though.
Tell us how you really feel about this game, Eric.
I'm actually interested in this game. I saw a gameplay trailer, and this is an indie game, so IFI is publishing indie titles.
See, Eric, this is my point. This is an original game, right? And I'm looking at it now. It looks great. It looks awesome.
I mean, it's not state of the art, but it's something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like they obviously have a passion just as much as the other guys with the Game Boy game, and it looks good. I'm down to play this. It looks really, really fucking fun. Adventure RPG? Yeah.
All I'm saying is that there's a lot about game development you don't understand, and there's a lot of people who like to act like they know everything about game development, even though they're not game developers.
Eric, how many years have we been doing this? So you need to shut your mouth. How many years have we been fucking doing this? How many interviews have we done? Like, you think I know nothing about game development? I know the reason they chose the Game Boy style is because it's probably the easiest style that they could pick. Why else would they do it? I'm not saying the passion isn't there, the love, all that. I'm just saying I'd much rather play something as aesthetically pleasing
clearly
as this.
There is an audience for it, otherwise they wouldn't have gone that route.
Well, let's put it another way. Money and time are precious, and charging $10 to play a Game Boy game doesn't. It's not what I want to do. It's not what I think most people.
Well, it's better than charging $30 to play a Game Boy game.
Nobody play that. Look, literally nobody.
That's what people did back in the day, though. So it's better
because we had no choice. We had no choice, Eric.
It was even that, or we could get this little Tiger Electronic.
Yeah, right. Hey, Game & Watch. Let's go back to Game & Watch, everybody. Fuck. All right, Breakman, go with the first vampire story.
I guess I'm just not dingling with anybody's bullshit today. That's all I'm saying. I am not in the mood for your crap.
Going to a slide to look at it. First Vampire Survivors console port brings it to Xbox One and Series X. Some Vampire Survivors console ports are on the way. Blah blah blah. Just said that November 10th. It cost $4.99 and the same price on PC. Vampire Survivors' goal is to stay alive while hordes of enemies assault you. It features bullet hell elements, as you need to do your best to deal with the onslaught of opponents. When you do fall in battle, you'll be able to use gold you've earned to get upgrades.
They didn't give you much gameplay, but what they did looked fucking dumb as fuck. I'm going to be honest with you. This looks worse than the Game Boy one. The Game Boy one actually looked fun. This one looks like you just sit there and shoot. Like, it's, I think they're going for the, what was it? Like Robotron, game where you just, but less fun. Like that's what it looks like to me. It looks like you get.
Okay, so they took the Oregon Trail and now they're splitting it into different games, and now it's just a collection of mini games apparently.
Oh boy.
So like other trails and stuff, like you gotta go head west.
Yeah.
So one's gonna be the shooting part. The other one's gonna be the actual text adventure, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should just go back to like writing on tablets, and we'll play games that way. Like an early version of D&D.
Should we go back to the way it was like in old times when they thought like Appalachian Mountains? If you're to the west of that was the West.
Yeah, exactly, man.
There better be a Gold Rush mini game in this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to like. Or who didn't like Oregon Trail, right? Whoever played it, it was fun.
The hunting part was everybody's favorite, right?
Oh, like the dying.
You know what? Actually, I think the dying was everybody's
dying
favorite.
Of dysentery, bro. Come on, man.
Or you naming your characters completely messed up names.
Right. Let's see. Freak Fight is the pinball machine.
School, so it was always the kids' names. So it's like, you died, ha ha.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just reading Freak 5 stuff here. The hunting minigame was the only part of Oregon Trail worth playing. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked Oregon Trail, except everybody always died of dysentery because like
the dying was the best part. I think like you got a broken leg,
died of dysentery.
Like 2 days later, they die.
Right, exactly.
Leg? What the fuck?
That's exactly right. All right, Eric, homie discounts. What you got for us?
We skipped the Vampire Survivor story.
No, I just did it.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I just bitched about how it looked like a dumb game.
Yeah, it looks like a dumb game, but everybody I know that's actually played it says it's really fun. Twin stick roguelike shooter.
Well, that's better than what they showed on that stupid trailer, I can tell you that much. It looked like some dude had an overpowered weapon, he was standing in the middle and shooting a bunch of fucking bats. That's
that's kind of the point of the game. You get ridiculously powerful and you just laugh at everything.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's the journey, right? Yeah. All right, Eric, what do we got for the PS Plus this month?
See, this is my problem with you two fuckers. You're judgmental as shit.
We're judgmental, you son of a bitch. What? And by the way, what did Break say? Break never said anything. I mean, him and I are going to be playing Pong
Okay, maybe
later,
just you then.
Yeah, maybe just me. Don't let Break into this.
I'm not giving Break a pass because he did chime in on the game, on that one game.
Yeah, so. Well, I mean, his opinion matters, right? Break lives matter.
No, they don't. Don't perpetuate a myth.
Hey, Break.
No, you voicing your opinion matters. This is just why I let you.
Break.
And then I'm gonna tell you I think your opinion's shit.
Break.
I have his permission because my opinion's shit. Understood?
Right. Hey, Break.
No, I gave you permission to say your opinion so that I could say it's shit.
Hey, Break. I got one of those paddle games for Pong, like and I got it to set up over the internet. You down? Later after the show.
I mean, what else are we going to do for hours on end?
I mean, we could play Carmen Sandiego, or
no, you already have Pong. You're going to try and make us do something more technologically advanced than Pong? What the hell, man?
All right, man. All right, let's move on, man. Eric, what are the games for PlayStation Plus?
Drink every time one of us, you lose, you drink.
Right.
And by the end of the night, I'd be really hammered.
Yeah, I think we both would, man. All right, Eric. What do we got for the PlayStation Plus?
PlayStation Plus games for this month are... Excuse me, I was gonna burp. Neo 2, which is both the PS5 and PS4 version. So if you don't have that already, you can nab that up and play that. And Lego Harry Potter collection.
Yeah.
At least you don't have to pay for it and give J.K. Rowling money.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think she gets royalties from the games anyways, Eric. I think hers...
No, she absolutely does get royalties, but I'm not sure they get royalties for a PS Plus title.
I thought she just got royalties from anything book-related, and that's where her fortune came, not the movies.
No, she got stuff for that, too.
Well, fuck her. Fucking piece of shit.
But like I was saying, there's nothing you can do to hurt her wallet at this
point.
Right.
I mean, she's...
So don't even worry about it. Like, you can play it or whatever, because...
You feel... Yeah, but still, you could feel better.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, if you just want to play it and you're like, well, fuck it.
Right.
I get it. But I'm also with you, because I'm not
also, there's one more game. Heavenly Bodies.
Yeah, I saw a... like a video on Heavenly Bodies, and it's one of those stupid fucking, games where, here I am being negative again, Eric. You can attack me some more if you want, and I don't really care because this game looks like shit. It looks like, one of those games where you like, it's like a physics motion based game where you hang on to something and then you gotta hang on to something else. They had a really popular, like, really hard game like that with this weird guy with the hammer, and he had to go up mountains. This is basically that, but in space and a little more technical, I guess. But
yeah, it doesn't interest me.
Yeah, it looks like shit. So, whatever.
Yeah, see, I'm much nicer about it. That's what I'm mad about. You too mean.
I'm too mean? I call spade a spade, Eric. I mean, if that hurts your feelings, sorry. I look, dude, you have no vested interest in some of these games. I don't know why you're so defensive. Like, it's okay to be critical of shit, dude, and be honest. And if I'm wrong, like, if I go and play that Game Boy game, which I probably won't, because there's 50 million other fucking games to play in my backlog that I'd rather play than a retro game like that, then and it's great, then I'll say the game is fucking great. Play it, whatever. But I got the point is, Eric, there's 50 million other games to play than that. That's what I'm saying. All right. Anything else, homie, discount wise, or anything, Eric, that you know of?
No.
All right, Breakman, do you have anything, dear Breakman-ish?
No.
Oh, it's because Freak 5 got rid of his Twitter account, but I'm sure he'll bring stuff to Facebook. Yeah, he erased it, man.
There was we didn't actually talk about it in the news, so I'll go ahead and mention it. Mega Man 11. This is from Eric. Mega Man 11 is now the #1 selling Mega Man game.
Ooh, that's interesting. Wow, that's
What's
actually
the number? I forget.
Let's see here. 1.6 million worldwide. Mega Man 2 was the previous highest. Okay.
That's interesting. That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
for
maybe
Mega
that
Man.
means we'll get a sequel or something at this eventually, or maybe they'll acknowledge that it's the 35th anniversary. Maybe.
Wishful fucking thinking.
I know. I'm not holding my breath or any of that.
All right. Let's.
I mean, that number doesn't seem like a lot, but compared to Mega Man 2, it's like it's the only other title to get that high.
Yeah.
And it did it within a matter of years, as opposed to the entire lifespan that 2 has had. Yeah. On the
Jesus
various
Christ.
platform releases that it's also had as well.
Breakman, if we did a fucking drinking game with combat where you ricochet and each wall was a shot, we'd be drunk like fucking 5 shots in because those fucking things would ricochet everywhere, dude. Come on.
I know.
All right, let's.
Better rule. That's only if you hit the opponent. Like if you hit the opponent, they drink. If you miss, you drink.
Ooh. But that still would be fucking.
Oh no, you're gonna get hammered. Absolutely. That's one of the great games.
Yeah. I mean, take a drag of a joint would be my thing, but all right. At least I could.
So 2 stoned walk is your goal, basically.
Right, which it would take a lot, bro. I mean, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a lot.
It would take a lot. All right, let's move on to what we've been playing.
Inquiring minds want to know.
What you been playing, Breakman?
Not much, because I've been busy working on house improvement type stuff, home improvement type stuff outside. And
granite countertops. Or what are we talking? Outdoor kitchen? Like, what are we talking?
No, like repairing ramps and restaining them and back porches and benches and a lot of stuff. Just getting ready for the winter, so I've been too busy to do much of anything. And
we got our first snow yesterday.
I'm too tired to do much of anything other than stare at the TV. So I've only played like some Friday the 13th and some Smash Brothers. That's about it.
Yeah, all right.
Mostly just watching The Walking Dead. Honestly.
Oh God. All right, Eric, what you been playing, man?
Just more Persona 5 Royale, and I played some more of Yomawari Lost in the Dark. I got through the second area, and I'm on the third area now. Despite the fact that this game's kind of got an open-ended structure to it, there does seem to be a linear progression of where you can actually go to advance the overall plot of the game, because the game's plot focuses heavily on collecting these memories to figure out what the main character's forgotten, so that you could probably do the final area and finish the narrative. But I get the feeling the areas I can't go to yet aren't inaccessible until I go to some other areas. So now I'm just wandering around looking to see which places I can go that I haven't yet.
Yeah. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing, Eric?
It doesn't seem to do anything terribly new from the second game, and has one new mechanic where you can close your eyes to avoid detection of ghosts, but that only seems to apply to single enemy type. And it was used once more in a very specific area of the game during a puzzle where the ghosts would only move when you were looking at them. It's kind of
like that.
Because like you're in a school and like there's like a bunch of skeleton statues that they use for like health at phys ed or class or whatever, and like they only move when you're not looking at them, and you have to manipulate them and to get out of the way so you can form a path.
Yeah, it's sort of like Coma, how you have to hold your breath when the monsters come and they just go past you and shit. Yeah, sort of like that. All right, anything else, Eric, you've been playing?
I played a little bit of Ghost Song, which I've been waiting forever to come out, and it's finally out, and it's on Game Pass now. And that's like a Metroidvania game, but it's got some Souls elements, which makes it more like a Hollow Knight, but a Hollow Knight with sci-fi. Because like when you die, you lose a little bit of nanocells, and the nanocells are kind of like your souls, because you can use those to level up 1 of 3 different stats, and or buy things. Yeah. And there are different weapons that you can use. And like one thing that's kind of annoying, but I'm guessing it becomes easier as I get on with the game and finding upgrades and stuff. But like your main shot, before you get different modules to like affect how it fires, but there's also like a heat gauge, and if you fire a gun for too long, your gun will start to get really hot and your shots are less effective, and your shots are narrower. So you gotta regulate using your melee attacks and your gun. And like certain enemies have certain parts of their body which are more vulnerable than others, so that's another factor that plays into effect.
All right.
And there are different types of damage too, like heat damage and electrical damage.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting take on on the 2D Souls Metroidvania genre.
Yeah.
While also still feeling very familiar to those who've only just played Metroid.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really haven't had a chance to play much of anything. I've been sick all week. I did. If I get any free time, I'm working on my movie. So it's like not a lot of time to play games. I think I played a tiny bit of Titanfall 2, but nothing to write home. Let's move on to reviews.
RPGrinders reviews.
All right, Breakman, did you have any reviews this week? No reviews. All right. Yeah, you've been working on your porch and shit, huh?
I got so much to do still too.
Yeah.
And I have to redo some. Well, I have to redo the some railings because I put glue on them to fix them, the wood railings, and the stain I got wasn't dark enough. So like there are spots and such. It looks really weird. So I have to redo them, which would be awesome.
Oh, that's always awesome to redo shit. I'll just take a fucking spray paint can, man. Say fuck it. Here we go. Done. There you go. What color you want, wife? Oh, you want black? Here's black. You want purple? Here's purple. There you go. Have a good one. All right. Eric, your reviews, please.
I only got one.
Okay.
The Black Phone. Oh wait, I do have another one. I forgot. The other one's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Which one do you want first?
Let's go Black Phone, because I saw Black Phone. I didn't see Obi-Wan yet.
Anyways, Black Phone is an interesting horror movie, but it's also, I don't think, particularly done well. I think it's because they had an opportunity to give us some insight as to what this dude was doing and what's going on with him and this whole deal, and they don't really take the time to do any of that. I just felt that was a missed opportunity, but I did like Ethan Hawke's performance, more or less.
Yeah.
But it's basically the Sixth Sense, but he hears dead people instead through the phone.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting
and
movie.
there's some unexplained subplot about the girl having psychic powers of some kind, and apparently that also applies to the boy who gets kidnapped, because apparently that's why he's able to hear the voices of dead people. It's just that their powers manifested differently. Yeah. But it's also another element of the movie which is poorly explained.
Yeah. I think that's for reason, Eric. I think the comic didn't go into it. I don't think either. The story that Joe Hill wrote, and I think that's for good reason. Sometimes a little bit of mystery's left. You don't always need to know the origin of everything, right? And that leaves the mystery, and you kind of use your mind.
Yeah, but I think the problem is there weren't enough breadcrumbs to let us help fill in the gaps either, though.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I thought it was fairly well done. I mean, I kind of liked it, Black Phone. But what are you giving Black Phone, Eric?
I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think that's fair. I don't think it was revolutionary in any way, but I also think there was nothing to really offend. So yeah, I mean, I think I gave it a time 7.5. So all right, on to Obi-Wan. Spoiler free, please, because I have not seen it.
Obi-Wan, probably the weakest of the Star Wars TV miniseries that Disney Plus has put out, because I feel like They brought back Ewan McGregor to do this role, and they don't do too many things interesting with him. When I heard pitches of this initially put out, it was I think it was originally supposed to be about them going to Dagobah and doing their training, and maybe the stuff in between that and when he went to Tatooine to just chill for how long he's going to wait for. And it doesn't do that. It's just him at Tatooine. 10 years later, Luke's a kid, and so is Leia. And there's the misadventures of Leia doing stuff,
Yeah.
which was kind of interesting, but it's not terribly exciting stuff.
I thought the young actor who played Leia did a good job, but yeah, like it just felt like they wanted to have her in there somehow, so they just forced her in there. Oh, you know what? I did watch this season of Big Mouth. Now Freak points it out.
And because she takes up like a nice chunk of the amount of episodes there are, it almost felt like more like her story than Obi-Wan's. And it was nice seeing Hayden Christensen coming back as nasty old Anakin, scarred and shit.
My question is why didn't Obi-Wan not recognize that Leia was a fucking Jedi? You know what I mean? Like,
she's not a Jedi.
Or have
She's
the Force in her.
sensitive.
Have the Force. Like, couldn't he
I think
tell?
it's because at that point he had cut himself off, so he couldn't detect other Force users.
Okay. I get
They
it.
They do talk about that, him cutting himself off. Like, and they show that he is kind of weaker in the Force. Not only that, like he was one of those people that was heavily dependent on the technology of the past, like the Metachlorian test, for instance. But like what I really liked about the show was Hayden and Obi-Wan going at it. Like I want to see them fight more, but everything else about the show was just boring.
Like instead of doing something that happened in between the films, I would have liked to see what he was like, him doing solo missions back before the Clone Wars happened. That would have been more interesting to me.
I don't know. I when they announced this series, I was not excited at all. I'm like, ooh, Ewan McGregor again, really? I mean, we want more of this. I mean, that's what the fans.
I'm giving this a 5.5.
That's what fans were clamoring for, is more Obi-Wan. Like that, seriously. I mean, we couldn't have thought of something better. I mean, we couldn't have wasted our money on something at least a little more exciting than that. I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, people were having mixed reviews of this Obi-Wan. That's why I didn't jump right into it. You know,
or like a better idea for this series would probably do Mace Windu instead.
Yeah, I would have been more interested in that. Yeah. Hey, what about?
I mean, of course, they could still do that, but who knows when that will happen?
Well, it depends on Samuel L. Jackson. But
he's in his 80s now. Like I don't know.
Dude,
no, they'd have to get another actor.
The dude looks like he's in his fucking 30s, man. Have you seen him? He looks great.
I mean, but like, just look at Indiana Jones. Like he's also like 80, and like, come on, like we don't need to see Indiana Jones like that. I don't want to see Mace Windu like that. Like even
that's why I suggested a different actor. A different actor playing the role of Mace Windu.
There's I mean, there's a plethora of actors that could do it. I mean, seriously. I mean, shit. But should I?
Like, they can't do what the things they did when they were in their 30s. They just can't.
Should I start watching Andor? Is Andor a can't miss?
Yes, Andor was pretty good. I need to get back to it.
Wow. Okay. Well, because I really wasn't excited for that show at all. But all right, then I will. I have not seen Big Mouth.
I'm binging all the stuff on HBO Max. And Freak did bring up the last scene is in a Big Mouth. I did watch that right before I canceled Netflix.
Also, one thing I need to mention about Obi-Wan, but the one of the sisters, the Inquisitors, a lot of people seem to not like her because she wasn't a believable villain. Because if you watch the show long enough, you should get the impression that she isn't, because she isn't. She's just angry and angsty because of how she believed Obi-Wan had just turned his back on the rest of the Padawans at the Jedi Council when they all got murdered by Anakin, and she was the only one that was left, and she apparently gets over it.
All right, break. Did you?
That is a good point. Like as at the ending, I do like that too. That he, instead of the traditional like fighting and killing him, like he went with his beliefs, you know, and he talked her down, essentially.
And I was like some people were complaining about that, but like I felt like she was a parallel to Jedi Fallen Order's Trish, or that one lady.
Yeah, the She was also, I think she was actually also one of the
Inquisitors. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second sister.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You want to say anything about Big Mouth before we move on?
It's really fucking funny. Even in the 6th season, it's still really fucking funny. Yeah, that's it. Just there's a episode they dedicate to women, and there's a lot of vagina pictures in it. That's
sweet.
Fucking funny. Look at all those drawings of vaginas.
Freak5 says, LOL, Indiana Jones and the Bout of Incontinence. I have a really quick review of...
Indiana Jones, The Depends of Truth.
And the Leap of Depends. Anyways, I have a review of a nifty little movie called Let It Snow. I saw this for free on Vudu. If you guys don't have Vudu, Vudu's underrated for free movies, even though you have to watch ads and shit. But they've got quite a collection of good free movies. And one of them happens to be this Let It Snow. I saw a trailer for it, and it's like partially Norwegian or some shit, but mostly in English. And it's just basically about this couple who takes this vacation, and they want to do this, like Black Diamond kind of skiing, kind of out of bounds type skiing and shit. And they end up the male ends up getting the boyfriend ends up getting kidnapped, and the woman tries to obviously save him. And there's a little subplot about how this little girl got killed, or she got hit on a mountain years ago and was left there by a couple. And so that's kind of the opening for all these people going missing. And now, we kind of get to figure out why that is. And I'm not going to spoil anything. It's a pretty good movie. I mean, I think at first I thought it was a horror movie. But it's mostly like a suspense thriller survival type movie. I thought it was pretty nifty. I think it's slightly above average. I give it a 7 out of 10. I think you should check it out for free on Vudu. And it's perfect for the holidays. Anyways, so let's move on to everybody's favorite Splice, Old Spice, Indiana Jones, Splice Old Indiana Jones into Bubba Hotep. That'd be funny as fuck, man. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, your stinkos, because I know you always have more than one of the week.
I didn't write one down. I have to try and remember it. Okay, but the one I did write down is so if you were going to say, Frank, open a bar, would you invite, say, Bam Margera to be the first person to come and drink at your bar?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yep.
So why is the Hard Rock Casino in Cincinnati the first? We're going to open up sports betting in Cincinnati. Why is the first person they've asked to bet the most notorious addicted gambler in the country, Pete Rose?
Are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me, man.
He was kicked out of the sport for betting, so they're going to have him casting the first bet in their casino because he's Pete Rose and he's a legendary gambler. He's an addict. He needs fucking help. He doesn't need people buying him more alcohol, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
How old is he?
Like 80.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
I'm surprised he's not dead yet.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean,
he's not like he's not somebody that's lived an unhealthy life. He's an asshole type person.
Yeah. Breakman, I used to think that why can't we put fucking Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame? He's did his time and all this, but I'm firmly in the camp of keep the motherfucker out at this point. Like, he doesn't deserve to be anywhere near anywhere. Like, every chance he's gotten,
giving him chances.
I know.
That's what pisses me off.
I know.
I know. You. As a Reds fan, I was so wanted to root for him.
Yeah.
And then you found out, and the more you find out about him, the more of a douchebag he is.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
That, like you said, they've given him chance after chance after chance.
Yeah,
and
he's a scumbag.
No.
He's a scumbag. He really is, and he doesn't deserve any endorsements, so fuck you, Hard Rock. That should be the real stinko for inviting him to go. I mean, they could have invited any number of celebrities to go, even C-list celebrities, which I wouldn't even consider Pete Rose a C-list celebrity at this point. I mean, honestly, who the fuck is getting in line for a Pete Rose autograph? You know what I mean? Like, he's...
If I was going to open a bar, I wouldn't be calling Tara Reid as the first person on the list. Like, get her alcoholic ass in here,
right,
you know?
Right. Besides the fact that would add to their misery, right? Like, you're not even thinking about the other person when you do that. That's really fucking shitty, man. No doubt, man. I don't disagree with you at all, Breakman. What else you got, Breakman? Did you remember your other one, or?
God, it's probably some mass shooting or something like that. It's just...
Exactly. All right. Well, if you remember it, we'll go back to it. But Eric, your stinko of the week.
Yoshi P and his faux pas statement on why FF16 is apparently going to lack diversity in its casting.
Yeah, I got a chance to read this. We'll talk more about this in the free-for-all, Eric, but I think let's actually put this into, I'm going to copy this, copy link address, and I'm going to put it in the chat so Freak5 can see this, and anybody that's in chat can see this stupid explanation of why the new Final Fantasy lacks diversity, and it was really fucked up. I think it was really dumb, and whatever. Who the fuck actually knew he was still alive before this story? Freak5 says about Pete Rose. I mean, he is kind of irrelevant now, man. It's like, it's a shame, but whatever. But we're going to talk more about that a little bit, Eric, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Me holding off a little bit. Mine. I don't know if you could tell from my voice, but I'm still fucking sick, and almost as sick as I was last week. So this is a long-lasting cold, man. I think this is something more than the normal. I didn't take a COVID test. I hope it's not that. I mean, my lungs feel like they're on fire, so that lends me to believe that it is. But then I look at symptoms and stuff, and then I don't think I have it. So it's like. And I can't afford to go to the doctor because no insurance, so that's great. USA's number one, and not having health coverage.
Number one is screwing over its citizens.
Yeah. So that's my first one. And then the second one I kind of want to talk about, maybe we can talk about it in free-for-all as well. I wish Wyland was here because I'm actually going to talk a little bit about DSP. And he did... who was it? Moist Critical, which is one of the big dog YouTubers out there. He's got billions of subscribers. It's kind of talked about DSP, and DSP went on a rant about how he was being portrayed poorly, etc., etc. And I've seen DSP in action. He's a fucking e-bagger. It's plain and simple. That's all he fucking does. And you know what makes him worse? I don't mind people making money on YouTube. At all. Like, if we as RPGrinders could make money on YouTube, I'm sure every one of us would sign up for it, right? I'm sure Breakman, like, if he made enough to...
I can't get people to join my Patreon.
Right, I know. But see, that's what I'm saying, Eric. But you're not sitting there shaming people because they can't. At the end of the show, you always plug your Patreon, and you say for as little as $1, you can, help me do stuff for the show, right? Like buy games and stuff like that. I mean, you're honest, right? This motherfucker, all right? And I am calling him a motherfucker. And I've tried to get DSP on the show before, and I guess we're not big enough for him to be on the show.
Because we can see through his bullshit, he knows.
Right, and he knows it, so that's why he doesn't come on. He's a fucking coward. But, and it's not for lack of trying, because I have tried to get him on the show before. And because I wanted to talk to him about it and state his point. But he's sitting there. Okay, so Penguin Zero / Moist Critical / Charlie, right? Those are all three names that he goes by on YouTube and Twitch and all that. Kind of was calling out a couple of YouTubers. One had like 4 million subs, and then he got into DSP, which how the fuck does DSP have 200,000 subscribers is beyond me. But he does, right? But the only fucking thing that DSP ever fucking does is, berate people for not donating to his fucking stream, right? And it's fucking pathetic. I mean, it's fucking pathetic, all right? That's all he does. Every fucking stream, oh, I'm not going to play this game because I don't have enough money because you motherfuckers didn't give me enough money. That's DSP's game, e-begging, right? There's a specific difference between people who make money on YouTube, like a Moist Critical, and people who beg for money, and not only beg for money, I guess that's not the worst part of it. The worst part is berating people for not donating to your sorry fucking ass. So, fuck you, DSP. I mean, you play games very shittily, even worse than what I play games. And it's shitty that you shame your fucking fans, your legion of fans, and I say legion because 200,000. What would any one of us do for 200,000 fucking subscribers on fucking YouTube? We could probably make a living off of that. We could, or at least have a good fucking check. You know what I mean? I mean, fuck you, man. Because it's not good enough for you. You have to fucking e-beg? I don't know. Fuck you. Rant over. I'm done with that fucking bullshit. All right, let's move on to happier trails.
Sweeto of the week.
All right, Breakman, your Sweeto of the week.
Well, I guess one stinker I wanted to add was the jackass spot Twitter.
Yeah. Well, we lost Freak 5, so that sucks. That should be a stinko.
Oh, we lost Freak 5? That sucks too. Okay, but the Sweeto goes to, it's been an absolute shit show for him since he bought Twitter. It's only been a week, and he's lost $9 billion already.
Yeah, that's good.
He's lost a lot of advertisers. He's lost a lot of the blue checks and stuff, and he's coming on with ideas of charging people $20 a month for like the blue check.
No, it's $8 now.
Oh yeah, now it's down to $8.
His Twitter bullied him into lowering that price.
$8. Who the fuck is gonna pay that? He's
trying to do everything he can to like monetize stuff, and he's crying about free speech. It's like, well,
despite the fact that as soon as he took over, a bunch of racists came around saying the N-word an ungodly amount of times.
Yeah, that was the other stinko I wanted to talk about. Yeah, the racist trolls have been out in force since he took over Twitter.
Yeah. Freak 5 stinko is he didn't win the 1.2 Powerball jackpot. I guess that could be another one of my stinkos too. And also, you know what I didn't mention? I mean, since we're talking about people losing billions of dollars, one of my sweetos, I'll get back to you, Breakman. I know you probably have another one, but Kanye West lost about approximately $2 billion because of his racist fucking ass. So
also, we didn't talk about this last week, but apparently, since he was dropped by Adidas, he tried to look for another shoe company that would sponsor him, and he went to Skechers.
Yeah, which is owned by Jewish people. Yeah.
This is after he did all the anti-Semitic stuff, and Skechers is owned by a Jewish family.
Yeah, so they escorted his ass out, which is awesome. Perfect. You reap what you sow, fuckface. All right, Break. I'm sorry to.
I found actually the other stinko I wanted to.
Oh, okay. Go right ahead. We might as well.
Nationwide, since the abortion ban, 10,670 people have not been able to access health care.
Oh, great. I mean, that's
a matter of months.
I mean, that number's only going to multiply by 100-fold over the next 10 years. So
And that's because it's not as large as it's going to be because there are states that are currently fighting it in court, and unless the Democrats unless they win the election and codify it, that's not going to happen.
Well, they won't do it anyways. They've had how many fucking years, including a supermajority with Obama, where they could have easily have fucking done it, and they didn't do it. So
I saw
fuck
a tweet
them.
Today from Biden's Twitter account saying,
fuck
if you
Biden.
get 2 more of the Senate, we're going to do it. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
buddy.
fuck off. They're not going to do it, man. They're fucking liars. Democrats are fucking weakling pieces of shit, and all they want to do is we were talking about ping pong earlier, Breakman.
This is a carrot you're never going to give us.
Okay. We were talking about ping pong, right, Breakman? And ping pong is a game of back and forth, right? That's what the fucking Democrats and Republicans want to do. It's by design, right? We're gonna punt things down later, and then the Republicans get in power. We're gonna punt some things down later. We're gonna keep playing ping pong, right, with the American people, and they'll do little tiny things for their base, right? They'll give us little fucking crumbs, like the piece of shit fucking Obamacare. Right, which I don't give a fuck what anybody says about Obamacare. It's an absolute and complete failure when you have people with no insurance. It's a failure, right? And then you go to the Republicans who want to do nothing but sow dissident and racism and all kinds of shit. And you've got a recipe for fucking disaster, right? Yeah. George Washington had it right. Two-party system is the death of a country. And that's what's happening right here in the United States. It's not the American people that are the problem. It's the fucking politicians.
Hell, it's not even two parties if you really think about it.
No, it's one.
Pretending to be two different things.
Right. It's one fucking party. It's the donor class party. That's exactly what
party, yeah.
What it is.
It's they are the billionaire class. That's who they represent.
Yeah, absolutely. The oligarchs can control this country, and that's
look
it.
At how much profit the record profit the billionaires are raking in, meanwhile price gouging us.
Even during the pandemic, Breakman, they made record profits. So
I know, and it keeps getting out more and more and more. And over the last few years, they have just gotten richer and richer and richer.
Yeah,
and now they're charging us more money, even though
right.
they've got more money than they've ever had in their fucking lives.
Right. And by the way, there will be a breaking point in this country, right? I mean, I know that the January 6th insurrection was a horrible thing, but what happens when it's done for the right reasons, right? What happens when it's done for the right reasons?
The Supreme Court is kind of going to push us that way, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely, 100%. There's no doubt. I'm not going to be the one to go into the Capitol. That's not what I'm saying, but there'll be enough people doing it for the right reasons. And,
if you push us enough, we're going to have to push back.
There's no other choice. There's no other choice.
And I think they think we're all just going to take it.
Right. It's like that old Twisted Sister, we're not going to take it anymore, right? That song. And there will be a point in time when that happens. It happens all the time, right? And the United States experiment is almost up. I mean, I think I said it correct. It's either that or the whole world is going to just die because of climate changes and stuff like that people fail to fucking recognize and clear across the world. It's not just the United States. It's just stupid.
Not to sidetrack, because you did mention the climate change, but just look at how much the media, for most part, like I shouldn't say the most part, but a lot of media just went after that teenage girl.
Oh, Greta Thunberg?
Yeah.
For trying to make a difference in the world?
Yeah, just for daring to speak up. Like,
right.
She was, the right-wing media especially, like Tucker Carlson and them, like, he's a grown-ass man.
Right.
Targeting this 16-year-old girl.
Right.
And she has a disagreement with him
doesn't she have, like, Asperger's or some learning disability, too? I mean, what a courageous fucking young woman Greta Thunberg is. She is.
She's not a teenager anymore, but when she was first started,
Well, I said young woman, so
a teenager, but she's an adult now.
Right. She's a young woman nonetheless. So it's just what a courageous person, man, to say we got to do something. I mean, it just it's amazing.
Look how vicious they were attacking this girl just because of what she said.
I found out firsthand how cruel people can be, guys. Like I started, I have another channel, right? And I do a lot of things on that channel. I don't just cop watch. I don't just do auditing of government officials. I do a lot. I from time to time I will actually on a weekly basis I'm out there handing out food to homeless people, right? Because I think that's one of the most underrated problems that we have in this country. Why is anybody in the richest country in the world homeless is beyond me, right? I don't give a fuck if we all have to pull together and pay a few more bucks in taxes to get everybody housing. What is the problem with that? That these people are drug users and alcoholics? So we should just let everybody starve and be let out on the streets because they have an alcohol problem, why not open up more rehab treatment centers? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand it.
Stop trying to make sense, Frank.
Why are
Stop
we
trying to convince people not to, care about money.
Well,
quit being hopeful and thinking people are nice, Frank.
well, look.
Quit thinking that people are deserve to be. I don't know.
I know what you guys are saying. Like, it's a humanity problem, right? Like, we've lost our humanity. Like even my dad was that way, you know. I remember as a kid, right? We'd be driving around and there'd be a homeless guy there with the sign saying, need food or whatever the fuck the sign says, right? And he would be like, fuck these guys, man. They're capable of working. Well, I've come to find out in a lot of my work nowadays, that's not the case, guys. I mean, a lot of these people may have drug problems. I'm not saying they don't, but they don't. So just because they have a drug problem, they don't deserve to eat. They don't deserve to have a roof.
But there are a number of homeless people that do have jobs.
Right, and
they
it's
still
increasing.
Can't afford to get a home, but they're working.
Right.
And there's a lot of places where you can't get a job unless you own a home.
I'm sick of
which includes paying rent in an apartment, but still,
right?
Like that's the most broken logic I think I've ever heard. I'm trying to work so I can get a home, but you're not going to let me have a job because I don't have one.
Well, and not to mention that some of these people do have felonies, felony trespassing, stupid shit, right? I mean, I've dealt with a lot of these people in the Denver area, right? They have charges against them. They have warrants. They have warrants for stupid thing. I started a documentary and
false charges.
Well, yeah, they're bullshit charges. Like the first episode I did, I wanted to do a series. It didn't end up working out because it's really hard to get anybody to agree to an interview. But I did an interview with a woman who, her name is Sarah, and she had a charge for trespassing. You know why she was trespassed? She was trespassed because she was looking for rocks. Because what else is a person to do as a homeless person, right? She was looking for rocks near a railroad track, and she got a trespassing against her. That's what she got a trespassing for. Looking for rocks. Keeping herself busy, keeping herself out of trouble, and she got in trouble for that. So how easy is it for her to get a job? Not easy. She made it very clear. Some of us work way harder than people that have full-time jobs by standing out there begging for money, putting their pride in their pocket, swallowing their pride and asking for money. So, I mean...
And do CEOs even work based on the fact that Elon Muskrat has like 3 different companies that he owns, and he's the CEO of all 3 of them? He clearly doesn't have to work to get the money he gets.
No. I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
Just look at Trump. Like when he was in office, what did he do most of the time? He was either playing on Twitter or he was doing golf.
Golf, all the time, golf. I mean
Elon Musk he's doing probably similar shit too. I mean, we see him on Twitter all the time. He's probably just sitting back watching TV and shit most of his day.
Yeah, which more power to him. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I mean, that's fine. But I mean, look, this capitalist system that we have right now, I know this is blasphemous to most people, right? It's not working. It's not working for most of us, right? If you're comfortable in your house...
No, it is working. It's just not working for...
It's not working for 99% of the people in this country.
Given power to the top percent. They've given more and more power to the business.
Although you could argue that, it's not working because it's designed to eat itself. Because eventually the rich will turn on each other.
Oh, yeah. Because they'll have no other choice, right? I mean, look, all of us will be dead, right? We'll be the first to go. All of us. I mean, the homeless people first, the most vulnerable, right? And then the lower class people.
It is the Ouroboros of economics. It is designed to eat its own tail at some point.
Yeah, no doubt. You're absolutely right, Eric. There's no doubt. So eventually these rich people, which if they don't get killed by the lower class, right? If there's any lower class people left, you think they're going to be really happy with this billionaire class and their fucking yachts? Go ahead and go out to sea, bitches. Wait till you get back on land. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how it's going to be. I mean, George Washington...
The story of Gundam is actually about how the rich kick the poor out into space so they can keep being rich on Earth. But in the newest Gundam series, it's the opposite. They went into space to get away from everybody else because they knew the planet was fucked.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of see what's going on in
they had labor shortages, so they hired people from Earth to be their slave labor, basically.
Yeah.
Well, and it's gotten so bad at that point that even the rich are eating each other apart now.
Haven't you? Have you seen Break? I don't know if you have, Eric, because you're not a huge horror fan. Have you seen Land of the Dead? Break?
Maybe
George Romero's Land of the Dead. The one where it was with Dennis Hopper and all the rich people were at Fiddler's Green, and the zombies were kind of getting smarter and you know I
remember Smarter Zombies. Okay,
yeah. It's a great movie, right? It's an underrated movie, and it's exactly this. It's a testament
Is that
to
the one where they start using guns.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's an allegory for capitalism and how like what Eric was saying, like it eventually eats itself, you know. And it's going to get to that point. Like the elites are going to be, of course they're going to be in their secure houses and they can hire all the people they want to try to protect them, but the poor are always going to outweigh them, you know. And that time is coming. I mean, it might be beyond my lifetime, but there will be a time when everybody will rise up and say enough is enough. It's over. You know, this bullshit where the billionaires control the narrative is fucking over. And you know what? I kind of like Star Trek in a way because of the way that they handle the money situation. There's no money in fucking Star Trek. I mean, people get in what they get out. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's good. That's the way it should be. It was way less lopsided, 100 years ago, 50 years ago. Look at what we got now. We got a bunch of poor people and a bunch of people at the top laughing at everybody else, man, making record fucking
talk
profits.
About like you can work your way up and such like that, but we have no evidence of any maybe Dr. Dre. I mean, but I'm sure he got some money along the way from somebody. But got Elon Musk, he had rich parents. He got money from them.
Yeah.
Trump, rich parents, and if you look at most of the billionaires we have on this planet, they got from their family. They inherited their money.
And most of Elon's success,
wealth.
And most of Elon's success was from scamming other people out of their money.
He went people think he's a genius. He bought Tesla. He's not a fucking genius. He just had money.
Yeah.
He bought Tesla and then he sold Tesla.
Yeah. Freak says he has a conspiracy theory. He says there are thousands of people go missing every year that are never found. His conspiracy theory is they are being used to breed a bunch of slaves who don't know any better. They better do something because the day of reckoning is coming. You know how the Bible has an apocalyptic vision of the world. I don't think that's too far off. Hell on earth, at least hell in the USA.
I don't think they have to go that far to get slaves. I mean, just look at the right wing Q followers and MAGA followers. They'll believe literally anything you tell them as long as it's against the socialists and the communists that are trying to take over the country.
Yeah, but wait till they don't get their share. Then what's going to happen, Break? I mean,
I'm saying he's talking about slaves. These people are already enslaved themselves.
We're all enslaved, all of us. But the almighty dollar enslaves us all.
Right.
Every one of even the billionaires are enslaved to the almighty dollar. Why do you think they are the way they have that taste, right? Tell me a guy like Bezos, who's on pace to become the first trillionaire, which is fucking redonkulous, man. When you have more money than the entirety of the entire United States, that is just, it's mind-bogglingly stupid. When you control probably at that time, a good maybe 10% of the world's wealth for one man. What the fuck, man? I mean, literally, what the fuck? I don't know, man. It's all coming to a crashing end at some point, man. We can't sustain this. People talk about a recession. What about a depression, right? This country's experienced a depression before. What happens when that depression becomes even worse. You know, we're no longer rationing food. We just don't have any food. Then what happens? A lot of people die, right? Well, what about the people that are left over? How do you think they're gonna feel? It's stupid. It's dumb. So if something happens and we are all in survival bunkers, the politicians and billionaires will need people to do the work for them that the average citizen will refuse to do because their money is now useless. That's 100%. But there are commodities, right? Freak 5, like food. Whoever controls the food is going to control the whole world.
Water, actually.
Yeah. What's that? And water. Yeah, water too.
Water is the most important of all.
Well, water, I mean, people can desalinize on their own. Right? It's not the most efficient thing, but anybody can get to the ocean and grab some water and desalinize it themselves. I mean, you can evaporate water, you know.
Yeah, you can those little portable water filtration systems now too. Like
that too. I mean,
it'll purify it, but it'll taste like shit, you know.
Yeah,
because it's like fucking spring water, or like it's mud puddle water and shit. But
right,
get all the bad shit out of it.
Right. Which is good enough. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, it's not far from being Mad Maxian, right? I mean, it really isn't. I mean, we're already dealing with
honestly.
We're already dealing with Orwellian shit every fucking day. I mean, all you got to do is look at the fucking headlines of your fucking lamestream media of choice. You know, whether it's Fox fucking News or CNN or piece of shit MSNBC, they all fucking suck. Instead of keeping the government accountable, they take fucking sides. How dumb is that? You're either Republican or Democrat. I've said this for fucking years. How can you survive in an environment that already pits you 50-50? Half of the country is Democrats. Half of the country's fucking... And it's by fucking design. And what's even stupider is this country, when it first started out, had plenty of parties. I think we at least had 7 parties to begin with. How did that turn into 2?
As you said, by design.
By design, man.
They build them down until there are only 2, and they've made it pretty much impossible for anybody else to get on the ballot, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Green Party struggles to get on most states, and the Independent Party, for instance, do you even know who's running in an Independent Party? Yeah. I don't, because they don't talk about it on the news. You know?
Right. Freak Pie says, if we're all in the bunkers, why should I cook for some politician who no longer has any political power? Trump voters might do it for Trump, but not for a Democrat politician.
Right. I'm talking about like the Republican voters, because they think Trump and DeSantis and Cruz, they treat these people like they're fucking gods. Like, they worship them. Mm-hmm. They look at the golden statue they built for Trump. Like, they will fucking do anything for that man, even for free. I mean, he doesn't pay his fucking bills.
No, he never has, man. And by the way,
people still do shit for him.
I know.
Like you were overestimating the groupthink of a lot of people. I think, as far as like Republicans, like they're so ingrained, like they think they're like doing it for God and such like that, and like, oh my God, like I don't understand. Like, the same churches that I went to when I was a kid can turn around and say Trump is godly. I don't understand.
Well, you know, sleeping with other women and porn stars behind your wife's back, I mean, that's a very godly thing to do, right?
Everything that I was told in church when I was growing up, like, Trump embodies like Satan from whatever everything I was taught in churches.
Right.
But churches worship him. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right.
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, if you understand anything about history and fascism and you know, people's want to be in power, then you'll understand why they follow Trump, man. I get it. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to fall into that, especially with low information people, right? I mean, it's not like, and all of us are vulnerable to it, man. Like, I liken it to being scammed, right? You'd like to think that you being as smart as you are, Break, would not be susceptible to a scam. We all are. I've been scammed before. I've been scammed for a lot of money, more than once in my life. So it's like, I mean, it's unbelievable, man. Like the way that things are going, money is the death knell of this entire nation and to be honest, the entire world, because I mean, money was what makes the entire world go round, right? I don't care what country you're in. I mean, if it's a third world country or a thriving country like England, what runs the economy but fucking money? You know, I mean, it's just dumb, man. It's just stupid. But and I didn't even do my Sweeto. My internet's working better, and the reason that it's working better. Remember, I was having those problems where we kept on dropping a couple weeks back, guys.
Yeah.
I figured it out. Like I went over to the modem, and the modem was like super hot. I'm like, holy fuck, that's way too hot, you know. So I unplugged it all, and I was looking at it. And it's one of these modern, like, tower modem type fucking things, you know, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the bottom. And all of the air intake is at the bottom, right? Well, Denver is really dusty. It's a very dry town, right? And all the dust had accumulated under there to block all the little vents underneath, the little holes and stuff. And I was like, well, fucking no wonder. You know, so I cleaned it all out, and I put it in the freezer to, you know, cool it down and stuff. And there hasn't been a problem since, so I'm like really happy that got you know, taken care of. All right, let's
talk to Frank. When all else fails, put it in freezer.
Right, exactly. Well, I did clean the what you call it break the little vents out with the, you know, so I did do that. Hold on a second, guys. What the fuck is going on here? My fucking mouse is deciding all of a sudden to be a piece of shit and not work. Oh my god, what a fucking disaster. There we go. Finally you decide to work, you fuck. And now it's not. What the... Look,
is it running out of juice?
No, it's... Well, let's see. I mean, it...
Maybe need some gin and juice.
Oh, God, I need gin and juice after this fucking show. Jesus Christ. No, look, it's 92% battery, but the fucking... Oh, God, really? Just click on the...
It might be mouse drift.
I don't know. No, it's not mouse drift. The button's not fucking working. Look at this. What the fuck, man?
The contacts are worn, maybe.
It's a laser mouse. How can the... God, man. Jesus Christ, man.
It's a free-for-all! Little baby! Yeah, it's a free-for-all! Wow! Suck it!
Yeah, suck it, you fucking piece of shit mouse. I'm gonna throw you against the fucking wall, you goddamn fucker. Anyways, sorry guys, that was my little mini rant. Free-for-all, Eric Stinko was about Yoshi P's weak explanation why Final Fantasy 16 lacks diversity. And I thought that was an interesting subject. And let me give you guys a little bit of context, all right? Eric sent me this little...
Are we going to do the bracket?
Oh, do you have the bracket? I didn't see a bracket. Where is it?
I'll put it in chat now.
Okay, yeah, put it in chat. Real quickly before we get to it, let me click on that link so I have that too. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Because I clicked on an earlier break and I didn't see any, but now I do. Okay, cool. Fuck. All right. It was a weak ass explanation by Yoshi P. To be honest, he basically. Let me look at it real quick. The gist of it was the scope of the game prevented the diversity. Even though it was a fantasy game, the scope of the game might have been broken if they had
a fantasy game that supposedly also takes inspirations from realistic life of European countries of certain time periods.
Right. So what a dumb excuse. Why? Okay.
Like there weren't black people in Europe in the medieval ages.
So dumb. I'm gonna shelve that discussion for now, Eric. But I think it is important, and we will talk about it. And it is gaming related, because Breakman has put together one hell of a fucking worst arcade game.
I don't want to like we can do both, can't we? Like this is only a 32 thing game. I'm sorry. Like I didn't.
No, it's okay. Let's go through the first round, and if we have any time at the end, we'll discuss more of the diversity discussion. But this is a great bracket, Breakman. I really like it. So, explain to us what we're going through here on our latest.
Just going through the worst arcade game of all time, and this one was actually really hard to research because there was no real consensus on what the really worst games were. It seems it was more opinion than anything. So, I came up with what I thought were the worst games, or at least overrated, or they don't hold up at all in any way. So let's begin. Start with the original Street Fighter versus Junior Pac-Man. And I'll start this one out. I played both of these games at the same arcade because they had a bunch of old games there. Street Fighter was the shitty fighting game. Was very hard to control, to get your character to do anything. I think you could only choose 2 characters, and I think it was just palette swap of Ryu, I think. If I remember it, you might only got to choose him. But it's just been a while since I've played it. It was college when I played these games. And the other one is Junior Pac-Man, and that arcade is no longer there. That was a badass arcade. I really liked that arcade. This one added scrolling. We talked about one of the, I think it was Atari 2600 Miss Pac-Man had scrolling, or 7800, one of those. This game had scrolling too, and a Pac-Man game with scrolling does not work. There's another one, what's that? Pac-Mania, I think. They added a jump button. It's the 3D Pac-Man. That was the only thing they could think of to make it kind of fair, was put a jump button in there.
Oh my god, that game was awful too, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to start out. I think both of these games are absolutely terrible. I do think Junior Pac-Man is a little bit more playable than Street Fighter, so I am going to go with Street Fighter as the worst game. Frank, what do you think?
Oh god, these are 2 good ones, and 2 of the ones that I'm kind of familiar with on this list. Although I do see a few more. Street Fighter.
There was also a lot of like bootleg games and games that weren't widely released. Like I wanted to make sure that these were widely released and that we at least played some of them or most of them.
Yeah, I played some of these for sure. I'm also gonna go with Street Fighter, Breakman, because Street Fighter was an awful fucking game. Like we know and love Street Fighter today, right? I really like Street Fighter, like, you know, the newer games, but this first iteration really fucking sucked ass, man. You couldn't like, to get a Hadouken, like I think that's what you call it, right? The Hadouken was like one of the hardest fucking things ever. And it, you know, oh god, yeah, Street Fighter for me was.
I don't think there's been a bigger improvement between the original Street Fighter and Street Fighter 2.
Oh, no doubt. Eric, would you?
I remember when Street Fighter released on the PC Engine or the TurboGrafx as Fighting Street. Yeah. It played even worse than I think.
I bet. I bet it did. Holy shit! So Street Fighter then?
Yes.
Yeah, next one.
Next, we have Bubbles versus a game about trying to stay out of the drain versus Pit Fighter, which is a shitty kind of brawler, kind of like one-on-one fighting game. Really looked like shit, absolutely shit in every way. Frank, you can start this one out.
This is pretty easy for me. I think I did see Bubbles, but it didn't interest me in the arcade. Pit Fighter did interest me. That was the full motion capture game, right? Right, Break? Yeah. I hated this fucking game, man. It was terrible. Like, you'd get your ass kicked mostly by the people on the outside of the fucking game rather than...
Pit Fighter, more like Armpit Fighter. This game stinks.
Yeah, Armpit Fighter is more of what this game is. Pit Fighter, for me.
I'm voting for Pit Fighter because it's absolute wretched game.
It is. I was actually gonna go with Bubbles because I think that's a shit game too. That was like one of those games I would absolutely avoid in arcade.
At least Bubbles look prettier than Pit Fighter's graphics.
It's true. But Pitfall moves on. Pit Fighter, Pitfall, whatever the fuck it's called. This Pit shit moves on. What'd you call it before?
Armpit Fighter.
Armpit Fighter moves on. Next we have Tubin, which is that trying to float down the water in a raft.
Yeah, I remember that game.
I will go ahead and start this one. Popeye, I think, is playable, whereas Tubin has got this a weird control on it, and it was shit in arcade, and if you try to play it on the home console, it's completely unplayable. It's a turd of a game in every way. They can go fuck themselves for making it. Eric, what do you think?
I'm voting for Tubin being the winner.
Okay. And Frank?
I actually Tubin was the game where you could like jump with your tube over rocks and shit. I think you could do that. I don't. Yeah, remember. I think you had a button and then you kind of went down a river and like avoided obstacles and stuff. Yeah, I actually would have. I think I would have voted for Popeye on this one, but yeah, I mean, that's fine. Tubin sucked too, so.
Now we have the ripoffs. World's Heroes versus the game that was sued for being a ripoff. And by the way, they won in court. Sorry, Capcom. But, I mean, good for them they won because it would have been Schaefer also had they not won. World Heroes by SNK versus Fighter's History by Data East. Frank, I think I started last one. Frank, you can start this one.
Oh, gosh, man. I have very limited, no pun intended, history with these games.
There's these two, and there's another one that are just complete blatant ripoffs.
Ripoffs, yeah. World Heroes would remind me again, Break, what these were ripoffs of.
Of Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2.
Essentially, it was
okay.
using characters from around the world in a fighting game.
Got you. And Fighter's History was.
And one of the characters was Rasputin, and he has like weird magic-y hands that kind of.
Yeah. Okay. I remember. From what I recall, Fighter's History was worse by a slim margin. I'm going to say Fighter's History.
Apparently, Fighter's History Dynamite was a better game, though. But I'm voting for Fighter's History.
I was actually going to say World Heroes because...
World Heroes is somewhat fun, though.
Yeah, I have memories of renting that game and going, what
yeah, the console ports aren't that great.
Street Fighter.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, Fighter's History, the shittier game, moves on. Next we have, speaking of shitty fighting games, War Gods.
Oh, fuck, I remember that.
A terrible concept of a video game to begin with, Quiz and Dragons. Eric, you can start this one out.
I'm voting for War Gods because the whole motion capture era was just garbage.
So bad. That game was so bad.
At least Quiz and Dragons, you can get quizzes.
Frank, so what are you going with?
I'm also going with War Gods because what I remember from this game, it was almost impossible to pull off any move. Period. Basically, hitting button mashing was this game. So War Gods moves on for me.
Yeah, War Gods was ugly. It was trying to. It was in the '90s, so it was trying to be like edgy and hip and extreme. So it was trying to be this bloody like 3D version of Mortal Kombat. It was...
Primal Rage is a terrible game, but at least it had the humor aspect going for it. War Gods doesn't even have that.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrible in every way. It was one of those games you'd put some quarters in, and then like, what did that just really happen? And put some more quarters. This is so terrible. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna get a beer and play more of this because this
right.
is bad.
Right. Yeah, it's so bad.
Then like a few bucks later, you're like, no, never playing this shit again. So next we have the, and I'm going to go ahead and start this one because Time Traveler versus Batman Forever. Apparently Batman Forever was really terrible in arcades, whereas opposed to the home versions, which weren't great or better than the arcade. Traveler was
the home versions of Batman Forever basically took the formula of the arcade game, but they turned it into a 2D platformer of sorts.
Okay, I don't remember Batman Forever. I think I played it, but I don't remember. But the other one is a unique concept, not really motion captured like Mortal Kombat. This was kind of recorded actors.
This is FMV plus holograms.
Yes, which was the coolest of cool concepts. This was a game I absolutely wanted to love, and watching it, it was like, oh, this is really cool. Until you watch somebody try and play it, and nobody could get past like the first move of the game. Somebody could pass the first few moves, and it'd be like, "Whoa! Like you're the most amazing person ever!" Because this was the most unplayable piece of shit that has ever existed.
I think it didn't help that the image quality wasn't that great.
But for the '90s, I still thought it was cool. Like you're right, it wasn't the best quality, but for the '90s, like. Back then, I was just blown away by this, and I was like, "This is going to be the future of gaming." Until I played it, and tried to play it, and wasted like $1 trying to do nothing. Basically, just died repeatedly because I can't do anything.
I just went and played Dragon's Lair instead.
Yeah, essentially, it's a shitty version of Dragon's Lair in every way. So, Time Traveler, Eric, you're next.
I'm voting for for Batman Forever as one of the most wretched fighting games I've ever seen, because again, it's using the same mocap crap.
Yeah, and this is the 90s when every arcade game was better than the home version. The home versions were better than the arcade version. So this definitely had to be on the list. Frank, you're the tiebreaker.
Man, Batman Forever was one of the worst games I ever played in the arcade. Time Traveler I'm aware of, but I the reason I didn't play it was because it was super hard. I guess I'm going to give it to Time Traveler just for that reason. Like, I could at least play Batman Forever. I mean, even though it was like one of the worst fucking games I ever played. Time Traveler moves on just based on purely that. Like, you couldn't fucking do anything, man. It's just terrible.
Next, we return to the fighting game genre with Crypt Killer, which was again in the 90s trying to capitalize on the whole edgy thing. Like,
I thought Crypt Killer was a FMV game.
I don't remember if it. I played one of that one. I played that one or Bloodstorm, one of the two. I don't remember, but it was you cut off the limbs of your opponent and they could still fight and stuff like that. It was trying to be.
I'm looking it up.
I remember that game. Yes, I remember that game. Fuck, I'm looking at it now. It's fucking awful.
So it was trying to be edgy and stuff like. It came out on consoles, but it was a shit game. Like,
yeah, it was terrible.
See, the thing with Mortal Kombat was it was trying to be edgy.
No, Crypt Killer is that light gun game from Konami.
No, that's not the game. That's not the game, Eric.
No, that's not. This is a fighting game where you cut off limbs.
Yeah.
And it has.
You're thinking of Time Killers, I think.
Wait a minute.
Maybe it is Time Killers.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is Time Killers. That because I remember the game. You're.
Yeah, I think you are right.
Well, we'll go with Time Killers because Crypt Killers.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Time Killers is awful.
Yeah, Time Killers.
You cut off limbs in the sequel's Bloodstorm, I think.
Which is an even worse game.
That's and it's on this list because that's one of those things. It's like, this is a terrible game, and they released a sequel that was even worse. But the Time Killer is going up against the other Street Fighter 2 ripoff, and I think of the three, this was the worst fighting game was Art of Fighting.
Oh, ooh, okay.
I thought this was a turd of a fighting game. Like SNK, like World Heroes was playable, not as fun as Street Fighter 2, and they had Samurai Showdown, which was different and cool, and Art of Fighting was shit.
God, a lot of these games are fucking fighting games.
So you're next, Frank.
Yeah, I'm going with Art of Fighting too, but and the only reason is because at least in Time Killer, it was kind of cool to see those limbs being lopped off, and you're still fighting. I will say this: if
it weren't for Art of Fighting, we wouldn't have Rio, and Rio's actually. And all the characters from Art of Fighting were more developed in the King of Fighters series. So
King of Fire, I don't know if it wouldn't have happened without it. I mean, because they still had like all these other great fighting games like Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown. But yeah, those characters are way better in King of the Fighters than they were in Art of Fighting.
Art of Fighting sucked, man. There's no question. That was one of the worst fucking fighting games of the time. Yeah, for me, yeah. What do you think, Eric?
Speaking of bad fighting games.
Hold on. Eric didn't get a vote.
I vote for Time Killer because it's far worse than Art of Fighting, in my opinion.
Well, I just like the fact that like they at least had a little bit of blood, and kind of went there.
And next we have a terrible fighting game and well, I'll just go ahead with it. This might be a little bit controversial for a lot of people because the sequel is known and loved, just like Street Fighter 2. Virtual Fighter 2 is well loved. Or Virtual Fighter. The original is not a good game. Not at all. It looks like shit. It played like shit back then, then looked like shit back then. Versus a game that was almost basically a ripoff of something that just came out the year before, Galaxian. This is also more of a controversial pick. But Space Invaders was already out, and it basically just copied Space Invaders. And if you were somebody like me and you played Galaxian and were mad when you went to arcades and saw Galaga, like, why am I playing this? I could play Space Invaders, or I could play Galaga. Why did I play Galaxian? Fuck. So, Eric, you can start.
I'm voting for Virtual Fighter.
Virtual Fighter, Frank?
I'm going with Galaxian. I actually like playing Virtual Fighter at the arcade, man. I mean, I didn't have too much trouble with it either. I actually got fairly good at it. That was one of those games.
I really like Galaxian. That's why I voted for Virtual Fighter.
I hated Galaxian, man. Like to me, that was a shit.
Yeah, it was basically a Space Invaders clone if you took out the the barricades that protected you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just like, why is this?
And it was basically the unofficial sequel to Galaga.
Yeah, Galaga's much better though.
I will pick on this one. I am picking Virtua Fighter as the worst game because Galaxian at least is playable nowadays. Virtua Fighter, you don't want to play Virtua Fighter.
I played Virtua Fighter. You just did. You know, here's the thing. You didn't take the time to learn the moves, man. That's why people hate
Virtua Fighter 2 is more fun though.
It's more fun, but Virtua Fighter 1 was a nuanced game. You guys, you know, fuck you guys.
I said controversial.
I think I hated about the Virtua Fighter the most though is that it had a really tiny ring.
Ooh,
yeah, that's true. I mean, I can't deny that. All right.
Let's talk about a fighting game that doesn't have a ring. Street Fighter the movie, the video game based on the movie, going up against the Revolution X game, which was a shooting game starring Aerosmith, which I actually like this game personally. But it was well regarded as a hated game. So Street Fighter the movie versus Revolution X. Who started last? Who did last? Eric started last, and Frank, you can start this one.
I'm gonna go with Street Fighter the movie. I thought that was a horseshit fucking game, full motion. You know, they tried to put Jean-Claude Van Damme on the cover and try to sell that piece of shit game.
The console version of the games are better because they had special moves and shit.
Yeah.
The arcade version is just Mortal Kombat with punches.
it's Street Fighter the movie all the way.
I have the Saturn version of it. It's pretty fun. Yeah. But I played it in arcade. One of my favorite aspects is they put in an extra character that apparently was supposed to be in the movie but wasn't in the movie. What was Blade? I think was his name or something like that. So there's a character in the game about the movie that's not in the movie.
Oh, breaking news! Do you guys want to hear this? I got another stinko to add. I just got something in the mail, and it's basically to shame me into voting. Public records indicate that you are eligible to vote in the upcoming election. Who you vote for is private, but whether or not you vote is public record. So what they're doing is they're sending these report cards to neighbors to let them know they retract the names, but people in my same block, it like shows if they voted or not. And I didn't vote the past 2 general elections, so it looks like, oh, this dude didn't vote, and blah, blah, blah. You know, there's a reason, because voting fucking doesn't prove a goddamn fucking thing. So, fuck you, CVI, Center for Voter Information. Fuck off. You can't shame me into voting. Fuck off. Anyways.
I can shame you into voting for this one, so you want Street Fighter the movie, right?
Yep, Street Fighter.
Okay. Shame, Frank, shame.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you want?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter headset. That's a.
At least you could shoot things in Rev X.
Yeah, I like I said, I like Revolution X because they're playing they're playing Aerosmith music, and I know the people online. Well, Aerosmith's an outdated band. Well, fuck you. I liked Aerosmith. I still like Aerosmith. Fuck you.
Aerosmith sucks, but okay.
To see Aerosmith live. They're fucking awesome. Fuck you, haters. Street Fighter.
Aerosmith sucks. Breakman, sorry.
Fuck you, ass.
Living on the edge.
Loving the Elevator was in that song.
Loving an elevator.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, next we have trying to capitalize.
Crazy because I met you.
Do Ragdoll next. Do Ragdoll.
Okay, continue on. I'm sorry.
Anyway, next we have a company that tried to capitalize on the
back in the saddle again. All right, continue on. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I won't interrupt again.
I'm trying to capitalize on the 3D trend at the time. Mortal Kombat 4 switched from the traditional 2D plane that we'd all know and love to a 3D game, which nobody wants to talk about today.
Don't forget Mortal Kombat Gold for the
God! Shut up, Eric.
And then a sequel to a game which has the character's name in it, but I don't think the character is even in the game. Because I think Donkey Kong Jr. is in this game, maybe, or he might be in it. I could be wrong, but you play a bug zapper instead of any monkeys or Jumpman in Donkey Kong 3.
And you torture Donkey Kong.
It's Donkey. You're right. It is Donkey Kong then. Okay, yeah. I'm going to go with both of these tarred great franchises.
Sorry, I'm just singing some
And
airs.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Donkey Kong Jr., but Donkey Kong was fantastic. And what would come before Mortal Kombat, the first three were fantastic, and then the fourth one, just because I think it's...
They gave you such beloved characters as Quan Chi, though.
I know, Quan Chi.
Right. Just because I think it's more playable today, because the graphics at the time, those 8-bit graphics, they still kind of hold up if you like that nostalgia look. Mortal Kombat 4, I think, is the bigger turd. Frank, what about you?
Ooh, I think I'm in agreement. Break. I think Mortal Kombat 4 was a bigger turd in general.
Mortal Kombat 4.
Sweep, Eric. Combat 4 moves on.
Combat 4 moves on.
Next, we have a sequel that shouldn't have happened versus another sequel that shouldn't have happened.
Oh God, these are both terrible, man.
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was a Joust too.
Oh yeah, it's super
Spy
bad.
Hunter and Joust both were fantastic games that had a couple of the worst fucking sequels.
Can I go
Hunter
first?
Changed to that like pole position rad racer type angle of driving game. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then Joust 2, like, what the hell was going on in Joust 2? Like, I didn't even know what the hell was going on in that game.
Can I go first on this one?
Yeah,
Break?
go ahead.
These are two of the most beloved arcade games ever, right? Spy Hunter and Joust. I mean, Joust was fucking hard as fuck, right? Like, you couldn't get too far in it before you got your ass fucking handed to you every fucking 2 seconds. But at least it was fun up until that point, right? And it's a great, like, parlor game. Like, I remember we used to have a Godfather's Pizza here. And one of the games was Joust that I always used to play. You know, I'd get a quarter and play fucking Joust. And I played for a while until the pizza was ready, right? Spy Hunter... Same type of deal.
And a friend could hop in and play with you, too.
Yeah, it's just a great little fucking game, you know?
Yep.
And you get those eggs, you know? It's super exciting, and I had no idea. Oh, I guess they were ostriches they were on, right?
Yeah, ostriches.
But
they hatched and stuff like that. You could go get them before they hatched, or...
Right. And then if they hatched, like, yeah. Fuck, man. This is really tough because Spy Hunter 2 was such a jarring change and such a fucking blasphemy game. I think I'm gonna go with Spy Hunter, Breakman, even though Joust 2 was, like you said, what the fuck is this? You know?
Yes. There was a lot of what the fuck is this? It said, what am I doing here? This doesn't make. Yeah, I mean. To be honest, Joust as a story didn't make any sense, but as a game, it just like it clicked. It made total sense.
Right.
Eric, you can go next on this one.
I haven't played either of these, but based on what you told me, I wouldn't want to play Spy Hunter that way, so I'm voting for Spy Hunter 2.
Yeah, that's I put you in next as maybe to make a tie because I'm going with Spy Hunter 2 as well, because Spy Hunter. There was a bowling alley I used to go to as a little kid, and Spy Hunter was the game that was in there like forever, and I always hated Spy Hunter. Yes, I love Spy Hunter.
Yeah, and then you'd like go right up into that truck and get your special abilities, and then kick ass with some
the rockets, and then
smoke.
Spy Hunter 2 was just such a travesty of fucking.
Did anybody ever play that remake that came out on the Xbox?
No.
I liked it. That was fun. It was repetitive as fuck, but it was fun for the time. Like if you want something to do for like a half hour or something.
You know, we talk about repetitiveness now, but like every game back in the day was repetitive. You know, all those arcade games were Spy Hunter was repetitive. It's like, you know. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Spy Hunter 2 for sure.
So next we have a game that I actually didn't play until recently was Pack and Pal versus a game that I didn't realize everybody hated in the arcade, but Paperboy. This was one of the ones that was like kind of universal, like everybody's like hated that game. I vaguely remember playing it in arcade. I mostly remember playing it like on Nintendo. I just remember it had like the handlebar thing. But I have played Pack and Pal recently, and I hate that game. It's why did you do this to Pac-Man? Why did you put that little annoying thing? A pal? This asshole steals your shit and runs off with it.
He's such a goddamn mess. I'm willing to bet at the end of the game, off screen, Pac-Man kills Pal, which is why Pal is not in any other Pac-Man game.
Yeah.
That would make it worthwhile. If he killed Pal at the end of the game, that would make the whole game worthwhile. But, you know.
I like how it's called Pac and Pal, making you think that he's like your friend, but he just gets in your way and kills you and steals your shit.
Yeah, I think we're all unanimous Pac and Pal, man. Paperboy. The only problem with Paperboy was always broken. I didn't mind Paperboy, to be honest. It was pretty much the same, but Pac and Pal was
playing it in arcade. I just remember the Nintendo.
Yeah, Pac and Pal was ass.
And I remember the Super Nintendo version came out and it was like so much better. Like, whoa, well, like this is like a completely different game. But anyway, I'm old. What can I say? Next, we have a game that really doesn't hold up as far as the racing game goes, against a game that I didn't think was good to begin with. But it's a shmup as opposed to a racing game. Virtual Racing, which is, again, the 3D trend of the 90s. This was Sega, again. They have a Virtual Fighter and their Virtual Racing making the list, versus a Capcom shmup that was repetitive and boring in every way, vulgus. I think Frank went next. Eric can go this time.
Vulgus is kind of like, what if we did Fantasy Zone, but we stripped all the fun out of it? So I'm voting for Vulgus because I'd actually get some entertainment value out of playing Virtual Racing.
Yeah, I'm going to go next because I agree with you. Like, Vulgus is boring. That's the worst crime you can commit for a video game.
Yeah, they should have called Vulgus Vulgar, and that would have been better. You know.
That would have been the most entertaining part of the game, the title.
Yeah, the artwork on the side of the console would have been, better.
It's like a top-down version of Fantasy Zone, but no fun.
Yeah, Vulgus, yeah, for sure.
Vulgus moves on. Now we go back to, I mentioned it earlier, Bloodstorm, the sequel to Time Killers, which somehow they managed to make worse than the original. It was about, again, chopping off limbs and...
Not only did they have mocap characters, but like they also had CG art and then actual traditional 2D art. So the game was a weird mishmash of three art styles that don't work together.
I was going to say, because you could see like the heavy influence of Mortal Kombat in the time. Like that, since Mortal Kombat was so big, they tried to steal like Mortal Kombat's stuff, and they obviously didn't. They failed miserably. Versus the first Castlevania game, Haunted Castle. This game is impossible to play.
Mm-hmm.
It is shitty. I'm glad it's not the first Castlevania game I played. In fact, I didn't know... I take that back. I did play it in arcade, and I did realize it was a Castlevania game at the time because of how it started.
It's a Castlevania game that has a much better soundtrack than it probably deserves, and that's the only really good thing I could say about it.
I don't remember the soundtrack. I just remember this being a shit game. Like, this is fucking hard. This is impossible. Fuck this game. But fuck Bloodstorm too. Frank, you can start this one out. I'm not starting.
It's Bloodstorm for me all the way, man.
Yeah,
like you took all of the quote unquote good elements of the first game, which there were not, and you just stripped all those out. And like Eric said, it was a mishmash of fucking art styles. Bloodstorm sucked, man. It was awful. At least Haunted Castle, you had the Castlevania kind of feel to it, so at least it felt like a game. Bloodstorm just fucking blew, man. I was highly disappointed in Bloodstorm, so Bloodstorm for me.
Next we have back to the boring games, ZBS versus, and the sequel is just as boring. I can only put one really though. I didn't want to put Xevious and Super Xevious. That's not fair. It bore us all to sleep. So Xevious, one of the most boring shmups next to Vulgus, versus a game that I think it was actually good for the time, but just really does not hold up anymore. Is Pole Position. Like that, just the racing game where it's basically you just moving back and forth on a screen trying to avoid what's in front of you. With some sounds and some bad backgrounds.
Yeah.
And as far as graphics, it's really limited too.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hold up well as a lot of games back then did.
Yeah.
Just because of the simple art style, they usually hold up well, but this one just it didn't work. At least not for me. But that's my opinion. However, no. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to go ahead and go with Pole Position. Even though I think Xevious is boring, just Pole Position. If I had to play either one of them today, I think I would still try Xevious over Pole Position.
That's interesting.
It's just that it doesn't look good. It's not fun. I mean, not that Xevious is fun, but Eric, what do you think?
I'm voting for pole position because I'd rather play shmup over pole position.
See, I would have went with Xevious. I thought Xevious was one of the most stupidest fucking games I ever played, and I think I played like maybe $1 worth of quarters in Xevious, and I was like, fuck that game, man. Pole position, I could still at least go back and have a little bit of nostalgic value with pole position, and I actually got fairly decent at pole position, but fucking Xevious sucked, but whatever, pole position moves on. Not that pole position is great anyway, so, you know.
No, the next one is a franchise. This is actually the last one, too. These are the last two games. And I think these are... I'm trying to think of which ones I played in arcade. I played most of these in arcade, except for, I think, Quiz and Dragons and this one here, which is a music game, an old music game. I don't think I had access to it. I might have played it back in the time, but Journey had their own music game. Apparently, there was a cassette player in it, and it just played like part of Separate Ways over and over again.
Yeah.
So apparently it was bad. Versus a game that killed a franchise pretty much. It was a long time before we got any more of these. But it was the premier. It started the shmup franchise. Not shmup. The beat 'em up. Yeah. Double Dragon was the original, whereas Double Dragon 3 nearly killed the franchise. Frank, you start, or did I start the last one?
I think you started the last one, Brady.
Okay, you start this one, man.
I remember the Journey game, and it was. You think that Aerosmith game was fucking awful, which it was, basically because Aerosmith sucks, regardless of what Break says. At least Journey.
Don't listen to him. You were the man. Don't listen to him.
Journey's a good band, man. Especially, I mean, Steve Perry or the new guy that they got, Arnel Pineda, who's really good.
He's good too, man. I saw Aoki live. He was good.
Journey's good, man. I like both of the lead singers. I don't give a fuck. I mean, Bernie's a big Journey fan, and she didn't understand like this new guy that they got is like a fucking. I mean, vocally. Almost a carbon copy of fucking Steve Perry, but
he inspired a lot of singers.
Oh,
really did.
Yeah, man, like this dude that was doing karaoke in Manila and you know like the Philippines, and he gets picked up by fucking Journey. Like yeah, that's a huge deal, right? That game, however, fucking blew. And you're right, Separate Ways every fucking 2 minutes. But Double Dragon 3 was such a disappointment and a horrible game. And like you said, almost killed the franchise. By the slimmest of margins, I'm going with Double Dragon 3, Breakman. By the slimmest of margins.
Wow, what about you,
It's like Double Dragon 3 decided that it was a good idea to split your lives in between all the characters you could play as. And then if you died, you lost all of them, it was game over. So putting in credits just meant retrying from the beginning instead. So yeah, I couldn't
I forgot about that.
I couldn't pay to win if I wanted to.
Yeah, I forgot about that aspect of it, and I've never played the Journey game, so I'm gonna stick with my standard and make this a agreement. We're all on Double Dragon 3.
Yeah,
we agree with most of these, really. Cool.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of weird. We bitch about games today, right, and what they cost. But back in the day, there were games that you paid to win, right? And we talk about pay to win now. Like, it's things. The more things change, the more they stay the same, right? Like, you know what a pay to win game for me was? Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pay to win game. Like all those shooting games like that in that vein were like.
You mention this, Frank, because I started on another list because I was thinking like of trying like 64, but I kind of ran out of time. And the other 32 brackets were going to be the quarter munchers.
Yeah.
And Terminator 2 is definitely on this list.
Yeah, that was definite quarter muncher, but a fun one. That
games
that
like that and X-Men, like you had to pay $5 to play the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me it was more like 10, which was huge, but but I never had that money anyways. But
games like X-Men was stupid. Like to use your power, it takes half of your life or a third of your life or something like that, and you only get limited uses of it.
Yeah.
The Japanese version was better. I think you could have used your powers without health train up
Yeah.
to a point.
All right, guys, we got to get out of here. We're running late, like really late. So let's end this. Let's do our plugs. Breakman, plug away.
You can follow me at RPGrinders on Twitter. I'm not exiting like a lot of people. I don't have a reason to run away, and I don't. If there's people, when the bigots show up, I shout them down. I curse them out, and everything else. I go off on them. Like I don't. It's an online space. They're not in my face with guns, so there's no reason to run away.
Right. Just don't go to a voting center, Breakman. You'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe I'll get my old one back when ever the shit show to this Twitter figures what's going on.
I keep hoping.
Fired
But...
a bunch of staff and lost money, and like it's turned into an absolute shit show. It's gonna take them a while to recover.
All right, Eric.
You can find written reviews on BostonFastBrigade.com, or you can listen to the audio reviews. I didn't get around to reviewing anything this week, but I said I was going to do something for Halloween, but that I never got around to finishing Yomawari, so that didn't happen. But if you like my audio reviews or my written reviews and you want to support me, there's a link to my Patreon on my Twitter profile, which is @EricRPG. Sending me as little as $1 or however much you want per month, whatever, or just a one-time donation. That would help out either way.
All right, you can find me on any of you can find me on Twitter while I'm still there, @FrankBranches. You can follow me on any of the consoles, RPGrinders or Frank Branches. I think either one will get you there. I want to thank everybody in chat, especially Freak5, Alicidra, Henty-chan, and Lurks was in there. Thanks for being in there, Lurks. Really appreciate it. And I think that's about it. Let It Snow was a pretty decent movie. Watch it for free on Vudu, I guess. And that's about it. You guys have anything else?
It almost sounds like the name of a porno.
All right. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody.
Reddit. Clax fucking sucks. And let's see here. What else did I have? Oh, Rampart.
Oh God, Freak5, you're something else, dude. He said, "Oh, by the way, guys, what games or what we were supposed to we were supposed to do 20 of the worst. What was it for next week's tournament break?
Next month's tournament, I wrote it down.
Next month.
Let me find out. 64 worst movies.
Oh, the worst movies we've ever seen. Okay, perfect. All right, I'll work on that.
I wanted to do.
Send me on Twitter a list of them.
Okay.
I'm going to just suggest worst Xmas movie.
Well, you could put that in your.
You should do worst holiday movie. Make it more specific.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Worst movie's kind of vague. Worst holiday movie's more specific.
Okay, I guess.
It's up to you, Frank. If you don't want to do that, we don't have to do it.
No, I mean we could do it. I mean it makes sense for Christmas, you know. I mean I think that would be kind of fun. But I like going through worst movies ever, like because like there's like no shortage of them, and it would be easy for us to come up with 20 shittiest movies we've ever seen. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and some of them might surprise. You know, like that movie Crash that won an Academy Award. I thought was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean.
Yeah, like I don't want to do holiday. I'm not doing holiday movies. I want to do worst movies.
Yeah, let's do worst movies, man. I mean, and if holiday, like Eric, if because some of the worst are holiday movies, let's throw them in there. Fuck yeah, why not, man? All right.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh God, man. Jesus.
I'll make some people mad.
One of the most overrated movies of all time.
It is. It really is.
God damn it.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way was kind of funny sometimes, but whatever.
All the way. Yeah, like Sinbad
But
was in.
anyways, thanks Freak Fight for being in there, and everybody else. Thank you so much. Until next week. Hopefully we won't run